Hello. Welcome to another episode of the ZUDECAST. I do believe this is number 72, is it, right?
72.
72. Crazy. We did 71 yesterday and then 72 today. Unusual for us, hitting 2 episodes in a week.
The double feature.
Without further ado, I'm one of your wonderful hosts today, Robert Ware Music. Go check me out on the Instagram if you need some like video editing, maybe. Slide me some business. Anyway, and then over here we have my other co-host.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Crispy Grooves. We got a little bit of a different arrangement today. We got some special guests. But yeah, I'm Crispy Grooves.
Hey.
Chris Paisley, guitar player extraordinaire sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Look it up.
Hell yeah. And then I'm running the boards today. It's Adrian Grody. How we doing, y'all?
Yeah. Props.
Yeah. And
Big
who we joined by here? Why don't you introduce us to these people here?
Yeah. So the guys we've got normally in our guest positions here. You might recognize them from one of our most legendary episodes in the past. I'm not going to say which one it is. You can go find it. But that being said, we got the Ware brothers back in town once again.
And
Welcome.
thank you. I am Michael Ware and
I'm Seamus Ware.
There we
Seamus
go.
Ware.
Man.
It's crazy. We got a handful of news stories I think queued up today.
yeah.
So we're just gonna kind of be chatting some shit and running through it.
I
So
know, there was a lot of crazy news the last time you guys were here, 40-something episodes ago, just about. So it's been
Congratulations
Yeah, it's
on
been
that,
it's
guys.
been a little while.
Yeah,
40 more
appreciate it.
episodes,
Yeah.
man. That's
keeping it going.
cheers
Yes,
to
sir.
that.
Yeah, I
Fucking
think last
going
time we were in a different place too. This is
different spot.
Yeah. Got a whole studio upgrade. Had a
indeed.
Zudecast 2.0 revision. So
Had to put it on them.
Oh dang. Oh, you also want to pop on that light?
Oh shit.
We got our prep down solid. Anyway, so shall we get into it? I
Hey,
think the
cheers.
first thing we're cheers to the reunion, man. I haven't seen these guys in how long has it been since the last family vacation? 2 years?
About a year.
It was last summer? I don't know. It feels like it's been longer than that for some reason.
Well, you think you were at the one, right?
Yeah.
North Carolina?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
No, that was dope, man.
it's
That
been a
was so
couple
much
years
fun.
since that. We were here about 14 months ago, maybe.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
counting like babies,
Right.
Yeah.
right.
That's right. Yeah, when you guys went up to, was it North Carolina?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but it's always dope because I get a text in the morning. And Michael's just like, "Yo, what's up? We're in town," and I'm like, "All right."
It's like,
This
Didn't
is
tell
what-
you were coming. It's
like-
typical brother thing.
This is what we're doing today, though.
Gotta make sure I get up with my little baby brother, man.
Hell yeah, man.
He's one of the most prized possessions in my life.
Oh,
It's
So wholesome.
God damn it, I'm a cry.
wow. A true family classic episode.
Definitely.
We all look so much alike too.
I know it's unreal. As I was making the thumbnail too with our faces, I didn't even show you guys that yet, but you'll see on YouTube the
Yes,
thumbnails
sir.
with our faces on there.
It's the big cheekbones from smiling and laughing so much.
You like
Some of us more cheekbone than other, right? Or losing their
supposed to mean,
cheekbones
bro?
to the fat. Maybe not. Yeah.
Bobby and Michael look like your hair is almost inverted. yours is up and
Well,
positive and negative. Yeah.
I thought I was Irish.
It's like fake Bob Ross, fake Rick Ross, right?
There you go.
I prefer Barry White.
Oh my God, there
Or
we
very
go.
white.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I'd rather be Barry White than Rick Ross. You know?
Well, it's funny you say that. We're actually talking about Rick Ross today in one of our stories, which
right.
oh man, that's
How'd you know?
Yeah. How would you know that? How would you know that? Anyway,
Sweet. How you guys been?
What happened with Rick Ross, man?
We'll find out. Dude.
Oh, yeah.
Just be patient.
Get cart before the
He's
horse
one
here,
of my
Michael.
favorite fake rappers.
What do you mean fake?
What do I mean? He stole his whole persona from a real gangster and didn't pay that real gangster.
Oh yeah,
That's
the
true.
actual
Stole his
Rick
likeness
Ross,
or
yeah.
something.
He's a
We can go
corrections
all night
officer.
about this.
Yeah, he took his whole thing.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
The real freeway Ricky Ross has never been paid by the rapper Rick Ross.
You
Yeah,
just took
that's-
off the Y.
That's
So-
like a whole deep end conspiracy. I'm gonna have to get into another maybe a Zood Files
Just
to
the
be
middle of the
renamed.
night while
Yeah.
you're
Yeah. Well, his name is William, so can you get William? I thought that was Bill.
Billiam.
He could be like Bill Ross, but to be like when he first came out, he was Freeway Ricky Ross.
Billy Ross.
You know,
Freeway Ricky
he
Ross.
was
Billy
saying-
Ross was fired. That could hit actually.
Billy Ross.
Yeah,
I like
really,
that.
right?
Billy Ross. yeah.
Almost sounds more like a
country
like a
rapper,
rocker.
Or
That sounds like a
Willie,
country
Willie,
guy.
Willie
Yeah.
Ross. Will Ross.
Willie Ross.
Eh, rock and roll.
Will I Ross?
Sounds like somebody that can really work on cars.
Yeah.
No.
Man, that guy can change a pair of tires in no
Bruh.
time.
You need an alignment, go see Billy Ross.
Bro.
Straight up.
He
Thanks
like
so
he'll
much.
sell you one of his fresh new CDs, fresh off the burn. You got a CD player still? Nope, I don't either. But you'll get one, I promise.
You'll get one.
Dude, you guys want to hop into a news story and look at some very real images
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
are verified?
I'm
Yeah, yeah.
worried, man. I've been worried about one of my favorite people, so I hope this ain't about it.
Oh, dude. Yeah, you might be in for a big surprise. Yeah, the man himself, the Don, the
I knew
king,
it.
Yeah, the one
Don-
and only.
Don Julio. Don. That's what the J stands for.
Yeah.
In Donald J. Trump is
Don Julio.
Don Julio
Yeah.
Trump.
Donald
Love
Julio
it.
Trump.
And
Great.
Just as real as these photos.
yeah. And we got
hey.
some pretty damning evidence of what went down. I don't know if you guys have heard, but yeah, Trump was actually detained. He was arrested.
Ways, bro.
These
Are those
freaking
the
AI
seals
photos
on
are
him?
amazing.
Dude, it's so good.
so fucking
he's like
funny.
he's
They
really
could
trying
never
to go.
get that close. He has Secret Service. That's the
Yeah,
crazy thing.
right?
It's like,
He's a
do we all
Navy
forget this
SEAL,
dude has
bro.
a team of like lifetime career Secret Service around
How
him?
does
the
his
rest of
hair
life?
stay perfect?
Yeah, true. Well, I
Fuck
feel like
fucking
can't lie.
hurricane
I feel like somebody fed this like football images of like
Yeah.
gameplay, and they're like recreate this as like Trump like juking
Oh,
juking
this
the
ain't
feds.
real? That's
Which
great.
I like that we started out with this, man.
Great.
Funny thing is, he's got such an expressive face that you can literally put him into anything ridiculous, right?
Look, he's mad right there, bro.
He's like, I will
Go
juke
back.
and I
Hold
will
on.
show.
Hold on, go back. Look at how the AI is handling the legs there too. You see
Yeah,
the
dude.
legs are all fucking wonky, bro.
Drag.
Look at that,
He's
yeah.
tucked underneath.
Bro.
That's
That-
what I love about. No, dude, this is a real image, bro. But like
Bro.
that's what I love about the AI stuff, where it's
That's
like it looks right from the first glance, and then the more you look close, you're like,
Fucking
That image
hurts,
right
bro.
there is accurate though, because when they have you like that, your legs are pulled out from under you too. So right there is right
they-
before
they
they
want- they
dip
want
you
you-
on your face.
They don't want you running.
Just love that mysterious like leg in the middle, but it's like trying to capture the
The
lens
mouth.
blur of the
That's
camera,
that-
like
it's
the
all-
but like
motion
his
blur.
facial expression is
It's
just
all
perfect
about
though.
the
He's
mouth.
like, he's like, unhand me.
Well, as Stormy will allege, he is a very limber man.
Bro, that one he lost a sleeve, bro. He lost a sleeve on that one, bro.
I
I
don't
got
wanna- I
taken
don't
down.
wanna know.
See, that would never happen too. His suits are made so by some of the
precise.
best
Some
suit
of the
makers in the
best-
world. That could never happen.
Hey, that fool's got
Don't
like
touch
the suit.
that fool's got like
Dude, these are
That
six
so
dude's-
good.
He's definitely got double stitching.
Oh, yeah.
Or
Oh, yeah.
Even triple stitching.
High thread count. High thread count.
that's one of the best ones right there.
This is probably the
Look at
best.
him,
This is the
look at
most
him, knees.
realistic looking one, I think.
Look at them near 80-year-old knees.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
it's a
one
long
right
knee.
there.
Oh shit, my bad.
No,
There we go, there.
that
Dude,
is
I mean, there's so many
funny.
of these. Wait, I think is this the same thread where it keeps going? It just gets crazier and crazier.
Oh, this
Was
is
that-
funny.
is that him arguing with Melania right there?
He is a cop. He is a cop in that one.
Dude, the AI has gone too far.
Dude, I know
It's
he's
like-
gonna tackle a cop right
Dude,
there.
The saddest part about this is these are going to end up on Facebook, and there will be like a
Yeah,
million.
they'll be damning
They'll
to
get
his.
so many
Yeah,
Karens
campaign.
like,
so many boomers.
I
just being
told
like,
you he
yep.
was terrible for this country. Look at him.
Let me tell you, off top,
Damn. I can only imagine.
for about 5 hours today,
like,
I
yep,
really thought
yep,
this
Karen.
happened until I took the time to look it up.
Yeah.
So-
Dude, that's the thing. Well, the AI and the deep fake shit is
Oh,
just
dude,
getting
look at the
better and better.
courtroom drawing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's terrible.
When
man.
it gets it
So
right, it gets it
amazing.
like really right. Is the
so
thing.
amazing.
He's
Super
crying on the
damn-
stand.
like super damning.
It's like
man.
that's like the Kyle Rittenhouse picture right
Dude,
there,
but
where
it's
he's
like-
fucking crying on
Oh,
the
right.
stand.
It's the AI's almost there though. It's crazy. It just
Crazy.
keeps going.
It looks so
Dude,
real.
It
the
looks
ones
so
where he's
glossy,
in the, where he's in
though,
the
like-
yeah.
Dude, I
Look,
think
he
we're
reading
the lighting
with
is like
the
too
glasses
perfect.
on.
we're only a few
Oh,
years away
man.
from that stuff.
That's
being
official,
like,
right
But then it's
there.
like, look at the
cops
book
just
though.
can't trust any imagery.
No,
right?
100%.
Is he reading the Quran or something?
And we'll get on this a little bit later too. But when like GPT-5 hits, man, down the line, I'm like, it's a game.
Dude, that would be
I don't
crazy
know.
if Trump
Yeah,
if
one
Trump
day,
did read the
please.
Quran in jail. He's like, I've turned a new leaf. Muhammad, he's a pretty good guy.
Dude,
That was him.
This guy. That's hilarious because it could be
Oh,
true.
he's balling up. He lost his sleeve in the suit, in the jumpsuit, in the fucking prison.
He gonna keep,
Ah, fuck, my bad.
he's gonna keep the clip
Sorry,
on,
guys.
bro.
That's the secret is anytime you get in legal trouble, just convert to Islam. That's what Andrew Tate's doing.
Oh my God, bro.
You can
It's not working out great
You can
for him.
also do Jewish religion too.
Oh, look
and
at
still
Buff.
not be seen as a
Look
traitor.
at Buff
True.
Trump.
That's funny. We actually just watched The Big Lebowski
But
last
he's
night.
Jewish, right? I thought Trump's
Who?
Jewish.
Look at Buff
No.
Trump.
No, he talks about it all. Well,
No,
maybe.
he's not Jewish. Well,
Buff-
his daughter or Ivanka married was it Jared Kushner, who is Jewish. So now she's like
Converted.
she converted.
Oh,
Well, he's
Yeah.
got,
So
like, he's got
what is
long
Russian and
legs.
Jewish together?
Ruish.
Ruish. I love it.
Yeah.
That is so clean.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's a wombo
I'm
combo.
Ruish. I bet they say
Ruish.
that's what it
Russian.
is too. Wait, can I see Trump
Sounds
right
like a
there? That-
fantasy race or something. like a race of elves.
Look at him, bro. He looks like
Look
Nick
at those
Nolte. He looks like Nick Nolte's dad, bro.
He looks like fucking Popeye in that one.
Why is his button undone?
Gary-
I know. Like, what's with that?
His fly button. bro.
Gary Busey's dad.
He's like, Don, let me help you with your form. You're a little bit, dude. That's swag though.
Oh,
Right
this
there.
is the
That's
one
swag
right here, though.
incarnate.
He
That's
paid the laundry guy to get a nice outfit.
Yeah.
I
know.
love the other one where he was in a fucking suit.
man,
He had a
he had
suit
fresh
under
pressed.
his jumpsuit.
Dude, or this one where it's like with the tie on the jumpsuit. He's got like the gloves, like he's fucking freaking out, dude. He's killing me.
It says Ed.
That's like I Spy. He's about to break out.
Oh, he looks like Georgie from It, bro.
Yeah.
That one's hard.
Man. That is so funny.
Anyways,
So
yeah,
good.
nothing's happened yet. Or it's I don't know, dude. They're trying to indict him. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, from what I've heard,
think
what
it's
I've read
hilarious.
online, they talking about he gonna beat it just like he always does.
See, that's the thing
I
is
wouldn't
I
doubt
keep
it.
I keep thinking that too. I keep finding it so hilarious. Everything that they've done to him so far, right? Responsible for Russian collusion, which we proved that let's say before we say this, there's a lot more alleged that the other side had a lot more to do with it than what he's
Yeah.
done.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
There's then they just kept going down. Well, we couldn't get him on that. Well, let's impeach him on the next thing, on the next thing,
Yeah.
on the next thing, right? Stormy Davis was one of those ones that kind of came in and went
Stormy
out.
Daniels, please.
My bad.
She's a queen.
Jim Beam, Daniels, Davis. What?
A lovely
But-
woman.
Yeah.
It's like I was saying earlier, right? It's like the way they got Capone, right? We're gonna get him on
Yeah.
something.
Mhm.
Well, tax evasion. That's all we got left.
Right.
And it just happened to work. Right.
That is
Right.
a good analogy for that
Right,
too,
it's
like the
like-
Al Capone. Yeah. Mhm.
But with Al Capone, it's also like, yeah, he did a whole bunch of other things that are like
yeah.
way worse.
He really
So-
did those things.
And
So it
Trump
just depends
didn't.
on, because
And
like,
Trump didn't.
well, that depends on who you ask, I guess. I mean, that's the thing. All of the presidents who are alive currently have like all done some pretty heinous shit. Like, and
I mean,
like,
you
there's-
heard the live
Well, I think-
footage of him saying, "Just grab him by the."
oh
right?
yeah,
You heard it, right?
right.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
the moment
23
Also-
or 24 sexual allegations against him.
also,
That's
you know
real.
what show you're on, right?
That's real. Yeah.
You know we say shit like that all
all day.
day.
Yeah, of course. I love Trump.
Yeah.
Let me just say that first and foremost. But there are things that are out there that make you kind of like,
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
what would you do if you had $10 billion, right?
right.
Everything they blame Trump for, those things, it crosses the mind of every new billionaire. And then,
True.
especially the old ones.
I'm
right?
next.
It's like,
I'm next. That's what they say.
Oh my
They coming to get me next.
crazy.
Well, I don't know, man, because it's like, yeah, they're trying to get. It's like Stormy Daniels is trying to, like say that he paid off hush money. What hush money for? What exactly? What does that mean? And I think they already looked over all this like Stormy Daniels
But I think
stuff
that's-
when it was like the campaign.
Yeah, they did, and
mhm.
they called it off. Then now it's back because it's the one thing they can go for.
right.
And I don't think when you
Are
pay
they
a hooker,
back
it's
at him
called
again for that?
right.
Yeah, but it's like they already looked at it in the what was it like there was like a campaign finance violation
I thought
thing.
that was all over with.
and
Like,
it basically was, but now they're trying to bring it back. I don't know. It just seems
Isn't
like
it
one of-
always hush money though?
He
Like
is
when
like
you pay your
public
prostitute,
enemy
isn't it
number
always
one.
for her to render the service, but also keep it quiet?
yeah, that's
Yeah, it's
that's
implicit.
part of
It's
the
like-
service. Yeah.
it's
that
part-
gotta
yeah.
be like a doctor-patient confidentiality type.
All right. Yeah.
Your
I
porn
would- you
star.
would think.
Yeah,
patient
prostitutes
personality.
do have the Hippocratic oath.
Porn
like,
star president solidarity. sincerity. There you go.
Yeah.
You gotta have it.
It's
You
just
gotta
like,
have
but
it.
what a credible witness, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh my
right,
God,
yeah.
no.
and it's like, what part does she play in
Hey.
it, right? She gets to now describe everything they did in open court with him. I mean, they have a grand
Oh,
jury of like
man.
23 people who are all going
Wow.
to decide. Most grand juries, by the way, do push forward some type of charge, right? Most of them, right? Most of them don't.
Something going
So
to
the
happen.
idea, so what they're betting on is that it'll act like most grand juries in a municipal New York court, and they're just going to put somebody's charge on there, and then they'll have something that they can go to trial with and do.
Yeah.
And by the way, in the 2 years when he's still on trial for this thing, he's also not running for president.
Right. Yeah.
So
That's. I
what
think
they're
that's the whole point is
trying
to
to get him out
prevent
of
him
the
from
running,
running.
me being.
They
They
wanna-
my
they wanna-
opinion,
That's what it's
right?
all about,
I,
Chris.
I very much doubt that he's gonna do any actual time for any of this stuff. And it's like also like
Yeah.
remember
No,
when,
his
like
time
when
is going to be done in the media.
yeah.
You know.
It's like and it's like oh he's the first president to ever be indicted and it's like wow but you know
100%
I mean it's
forgot
like
about
Nixon.
Obama
Nixon,
wasn't
yeah.
you know but he
Nixon.
wasn't he
He resigned
impeached,
before
but-
he got
yeah
indicted.
exactly
Yeah, he was impeached and then got it. And then we all forget about Clinton, right? Bill Clinton didn't spend his fun time getting
But he
impeached.
didn't get
Yeah.
commit a crime. He
No,
just
no.
Well, the thing
lied,
with
I
Clinton,
guess.
the thing with Clinton is they were looking into like embezzlement stuff, and then the only thing they could find was him being a degenerate in the Oval Office. So
Right.
that's what they pinned on him. So it's kind of the same thing. They're like, we can't expose you without exposing all of our other shit. So we're gonna make it about the
Yeah.
porn star and the sexual scandals. So
sex scandals are like the weakest like out of all the things that any given president will do sex scandals is like pretty fucking minor. It's like Obama drone striked a kid an American kid
Oh.
yeah
Yep.
yeah there was a whole thing about that Was
Well,
his
there's
name?
like Zero Dark 30 too. Like
that was a whole thing
like
like
the illegal like black site camps where they're like holding
Yeah.
Drone striked a child.
yeah well he drone
Wasn't like
striked
on-
plenty of
wasn't like
children
on
but he also
purpose.
drone
It
stroked
was a friendly fire.
it was
scenario.
like
Yeah.
because the whole thing was there was like this guy Abdul fuck I forget his name it's like Abdul Rahman Al-Awlaki or
family
something
name.
like that it's a family
Yeah.
that guy now that guy was like
It's
a
fucks.
serious he was like a serious jihadi kind of guy
I remember who
in
you're talking about.
I forget which stan it was probably Afghanistan or maybe Pakistan but anyways like he had a kid who like wasn't really involved or was still kind of like a radical like Muslim guy but like didn't really commit any crimes but he like advocated for like jihad kind of stuff but he didn't like actually commit any crimes
He was on the fence.
he was on the fence. I'm sure it could have happened, but he was an American citizen. Like he was born in the U.S. and he wasn't in the U.S. when he got drone
must be-
strike. But it was they were going after his dad, but then like they got him too. And it's like yeah, but American like
I mean, these,
Americans are. He wasn't like a armed combatant. He was like just a guy.
Yeah, a
and
civilian.
so you don't just drone strike someone. You're supposed to like take them to court.
They
and
drone
stuff, so-
struck. They
yeah.
drone
Well,
striked
I
an
think
area
that's a-
they knew he was in.
I think we're talking about
Yeah.
two different things, right? There are things you do in the U.S. with U.S. citizens, right? And there are things you do to your enemy when you're fighting in a war like that. I mean, I'm not a massive
no, I
Obama
get it.
fan, but what I really like to do is let our presidents make decisions that presidents have to make. That hopefully they're doing it in the best interest of the country, and they're not doing it in the best interest of the special interest, right? But at the end of the day, just like everybody goes after Bush about what Bush did after 9/11, and it's like we stayed there for 20 years and we backed out like idiots, right? After a massive amount of not letting them win, right?
Right.
I think at the end of the day, you have to look at it and say, you know what? None of us have ever had 2 planes crash into a building. None of us have ever had to hunt down, massive offenders in other countries that are fleeing,
Yeah.
That's always the tough
It's a
thing.
tough job.
And what do? They
Having the
do
executive
pillow
power
fort. They
to,
do tend to pillow fort themselves with their children and wives and all that kind
It's
of
easy
stuff,
to
right?
talk
Yeah,
about.
That's
It's easy to talk about.
Yeah.
Could you push the button, Chris?
What button?
Like if the button
Oh
had to be
yeah,
pushed.
yeah.
Hey, we gotta
Well, that's-
go.
Yeah.
Go,
that's the
go,
thing.
go, go, go.
I like to think.
But I mean,
that
the whole thing was a mistake in the first place with Afghanistan and everything. Where it's just like, if it's a specific, like, even I remember like when Trump, like whatever he drone strike the Iranian like general or whatever. That was probably what was going on like around the last time that you guys were here. Or wait, no, he was even before that, or it must have been because
That was a long time ago.
or that was yeah,
That was a
that was
long
like
time
at least
ago.
like
that was
that was like
when he-
pre-COVID. Yeah,
That was like
Dude,
when
it's
he,
all such a fucking
that was
blur.
like when he first became like president. So
like
that was
16.
that was like
Omani
it was like
or whatever
17.
his
That was
name
like first or second year in.
It's like, dude, if it's like,
Soleimani, is that his name?
yeah. I don't know. And it's like, it's just one of those things where it's like, oh, you could never go up against the army or the military or whatever. All you got is your piddly little fucking AR-15s, and then it's like, okay, then you got a bunch of guys in like Afghanistan that are wearing like essentially pajamas and have like 1980s Toyota trucks, and they're rolling around in the desert, and it's like they still couldn't, like, the amount of like, you know, presence of ISIS and the
just
Taliban and all that shit,
the
where it's
abandoned
just like,
assets.
right,
The
or
amount
yeah,
of
it's like,
abandoned assets that we take there, put on the ground, don't utilize, and leave the country. And now they're
Right.
driving around, and
I
they
can
don't
understand
even have to
recently,
wait.
like-
They don't have to wait to buy like the guys like the, you know.
All the Blackhawks we left when we left Afghanistan.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
well,
we left all those. Now we
thought
gotta-
go
we
in.
can't-
We'll ruin some
Now they're
computers,
gonna
and they
be
can't get
used to
computer chips from another
commit.
country or something.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, come on, guys.
because you can't. Well, you know, if you leave
Who needs
behind all the-
warmongers, right? When we'll just leave awesome state of the art equipment
right
there, no problem.
Because now that it's like, oh, we would have given that to Ukraine, but we left it there, so now we have to make a whole bunch of new shit for Ukraine.
well, that stuff's gone.
Raytheon's having a fucking field day with it.
Yeah.
But you know
Totally
what?
not
I
on
feel
purpose.
America. I feel
Totally
the
not
soul
on
of
purpose.
America. It's in our blood to help. We always want to help the one that's the underdog, you know. So
We didn't
Yeah.
used to be like that, though. I mean, you think about before World War II, we were one of the we were the last superpower to enter World War II, right? And the reason is because we were focused on ourselves. We were trying not to get involved in things that had nothing to do with us. And it wasn't until Pearl Harbor that we
They
were
got
the
us.
sleeping giant, right? So at the end of the day, I really wish we went back to that kind of political ideology where we are, because we still gave a lot of, help at that time to other countries that needed help. But I think staying out of like these social political things that have nothing to do with us is probably the way we save ourselves.
Yeah.
100%.
Dude, getting out of like like the amount of military bases that the U.S. has like around the world is crazy. If China had that many military bases like right next to you too, and it's like they got the U.S. has them in Japan, they got them in Germany
they
still, they got them in all over the world.
Guam,
But
by the way, China
Hawaii,
does
everywhere.
So there are
every continent.
China
has-
and
has a
Russia
US
both
military base.
both have outposts in massive amounts of parts of the world that we
Yeah.
don't, because these are worlds that they obviously they're not sitting here in the middle of the U.S. or U.S. territories, but outside of U.S. and U.S. territories, they do have plenty of coverage for sure.
Yeah, and I'm speaking from just generalities, but I have to think in my life that the U.S. has a military base in every country. There probably isn't many. Maybe Russia.
They have bases on just remote islands in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, like in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
So,
I would say I wouldn't call it all military
Yeah.
though. I mean, some of that's going to be like CIA, NSA. I mean, there's going to be tons of other organizations that operate outside of our borders, right? Remember, the CIA can't operate. Our own CIA doesn't operate, or is not supposed to, inside of the U.S., right? They are 100% an intelligence agency for outside.
That's the crazy thing with the
That's cap though.
Well, no, but what
cap.
they do is they're just like the CIA is just they have homies that are in the other like intelligent
Men in Black.
in the UK or in France or in Israel or wherever, and they'd be like, hey, you can you can send me the details about like whatever. There was like a thing about a CIA guy who talked to French intelligence to get French intelligence to spy on like his girlfriend on Facebook or whatever to find out like if she was cheating or whatever. And it's like that's it's like they'll absolutely abuse their fucking power to just like
I don't know
look
why you
up
just
like
don't
trivial
ask-
shit like that.
I don't know why you don't ask Zuckerberg. That guy looks like he creeps on
Right.
everybody's Facebook.
He
right?
knows.
Oh yeah.
Like, you ever look
bad.
at that guy on any of his hearings and he's just like dead in his eyes, and it's like, I know he's a little irritated because nobody he's talking to knows what he's actually talking about, right?
I feel like he's just in a constant mode of dissociation.
Like I
all
almost
the
every
time.
time I'm on Facebook, I almost like have this feeling. I need to look over my shoulder like somebody's creeping on me,
Yeah.
right?
See, I'd be
It's gotta
cool
be
if it was
it's gotta
like
be Zuckerberg pulling
the MySpace
pulling-
guy. Like I'm
Right.
just like, oh, what's up, Tom? Like,
I love
I bet
MySpace,
you
man.
he has a catfish page.
MySpace,
Right.
you can do code.
He's
You
got a
can make your
series,
own
and that nobody can
stuff,
call
put your
into
own
question because it's so probably
players up.
legit.
oh,
It was
Yeah,
the
man.
best.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this Trump indictment thing. probably gonna have to come back to it at some point because I guess it's like getting delayed till tomorrow, and I don't know. I think at the very most he's gonna like have a mug shot maybe, or like I don't know. They're gonna do it over Zoom, but
great
they have to get
AI.
his like fingerprints. I'm like, don't they already have his fucking fingerprints?
How would they say
right?
it? Can't
should.
wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yep. Quick shout out to Cole. Thanks for joining us on this.
Yeah,
this,
thanks for
this
tuning
wild
in,
ride.
Cole. Yeah,
What's
he was.
up, Cole Beers?
He dropped some chats earlier when we were talking about the AI.
He's a ZUDECAST rig.
Said he got his sleeve back, huh? Right.
Oh man.
Is this? Oh,
I know.
Is that
I'm just looking
AI
up
too, bro?
I'm just looking up the Trump arrest. Well, this is just from.
Oh,
This is from
this
January
was
6th. I don't know.
I feel like these new photos of Trump should have been associated with January 6th. They would have made so much more
That's
sense.
amazing.
That's hilarious.
Have you seen like the video where the guy's like, "Welcome to today's insurrection." Please don't like. It's almost like a guy walking people,
Like a guided tour.
guided
Yeah.
tour of the White
No, we were
House
talking about
and
that.
Capitol.
Or wait, did we actually get to that the other day?
Here,
With
like
the
a
January
poop
6th.
on the desk.
So
Is that like a
hilarious.
dub of like some of the J6 footage that
No,
came
he's
out?
like, today,
or
welcome
something?
to our insurrection. As you can see, please step calmly through the and it's like people like calmly walking through. There's a few people being ridiculous, but for the most part, you don't you hear it on both whenever I hear both Fox and CNN talk about it being a terrible thing, then I'm wondering
Or it's like
it's
they're
either
like, this is
very
9/11.
real, it's either very real or it's very not real.
Very,
right?
very fake, right? Yeah.
The more
yeah.
footage, the more footage
That's
that
a-
you see
that's
of
a feeling
it.
you get. I don't know that.
Well,
for
the thing
sure,
is,
but,
if like everybody agrees, then if it's fake, it's got to be like a pretty good fake. Like there's something deep going on. If it's fooling.
well, I mean, obviously a couple
everybody
people
just across the
died and
board,
stuff like that. But I mean, isn't there like every minute of the day somebody's rioting in one part of our country, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those aren't insurrections. We're just burning down whole neighborhoods for no reason.
Well, I just like the people that actually
Or
think
for
that something
reasons-
could
for
have
reasons,
happened.
But
Like even if they really like went in there like strapped up, ready to fucking like take shit down, they were like, "Oh my god, they had a noose for Mike Pence or whatever," and it was like, the camera was like down on the ground, and it was like
Did
a
they
miniature.
really?
It was a miniature sized, like it was a miniature sized gallows, just like a
Tell me they
metaphorical
didn't.
gallows.
That's not
It was a
real.
fake gallows, or like
For Mike Pence?
or that was like what some people were saying, like, oh, they're gonna try to, they thought that Mike Pence was like, betraying Trump, whatever, and they're like, oh, we got to get rid of him.
no, that dude was down to
Wow.
ride.
But there's no situation in which
Pence
like
in
was
more
down.
ways than one. I'll
Pence,
tell you.
Pence was down to ride. There's no way you
Would
question
you
that
have voted
guy.
for Pence if he ran?
Oh, by himself? No, that dude's creepy as hell.
Never.
Like
Oh, God.
I fully expect like the deep, investigation of Pence to reveal some compound somewhere who's got 30 wives or something, right?
Right. He's like,
Like,
this is
that
what
dude
I've
gives
been
you-
doing.
He gives you Jeff vibes. You know what I mean?
Right, he's just like cloning people like in a basement somewhere. I don't know. He's
Jeff?
well, bro, people
What's that
gave
guy's last name? Jeff's the guy that's the leader of the cult in
I mean, Jim
Utah.
Jones.
No. The
Oh, the guy with the sister
last name's
wives?
Jeff's. I can't remember his first name. He's like you watch these shows on TV now where they're rescuing people from
Sister wife type of
yeah
things,
from
Oh, I forget
from
which
polygamy.
polygamy cult.
I think his name is
Gotcha.
Jeffs or something. I can't
Jeffs.
it's something like
Jeff
that.
Jefferson.
Don't quote us.
I'll look it up and tell you another time.
Oh, it's Jim Jeffries. Oh wait, never mind.
Jack Johnson.
Yeah, man. I don't know, cause now it's
The
like
name you know.
it's like Trump and DeSantis are throwing a lot of shit at each other and like really beefing hard now. And
Warren Jeffs, that's his guy's name. Warren Jeffs.
You know Warren, that's a bad name.
It's the Warren J.
Warren G.
Regulator.
Shouts out to Warren G. His
Well, the
name
guy-
ain't bad.
Well, the guy's like in prison forever, right? And now that he's in prison, no husbands in his organization can have sex with their wives since he also can't have sex with his wife, right? I mean,
He's like,
well,
I can
watched
fuck,
this show.
nobody fucks.
I watched this show about them escaping. It's the craziest show in existence, dude. You get stuck. Sorry, I know it's not a topic for today, but you get stuck
You're
on that
good.
show.
What's the name of that show again?
Escaping polygamy, I think is what it's called.
Yes.
No.
It's a real deal, man. These women are trying to escape the It's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like what
yeah,
they
that's
did
what
to
it's called.
R. Kelly did this same
Did the
thing.
same shit,
But
yeah.
they gave him his whole life behind bars. But a
Yeah.
white man can get away with
Oh, no,
it like
Jeff's
it's
there.
nothing,
He's there.
bro.
He's
And I
even-
ain't trying to
Well,
go there.
They
but-
finally got
And he
him
didn't
too.
even put out fucking remix to Ignition. So like, what the fuck?
Right.
So Warren
What song does Warren
played.
Jeff drop?
Or
Yeah.
12 played Chris for that
Yeah.
matter. Like 12 played.
Dude's got like
I'll
70
never
something
stop
wives.
listening
Like,
to
he's
it.
got
I
a-
don't care what he
R.
did.
Kelly?
No.
Or the guy in
Warren
the show?
Jeffs has like
Okay.
70 something wives. It's probably more or less than that. But he, two young kids spoke up at his, I think is what did him in. Those 2 kids brought it, and now he's got like life sentence.
It wasn't kids. What happened was,
No, Warren Jeffs, it was children. That got,
with children. Yeah.
Oh, that's gnarly.
He got indicted, and he ended up getting like serious child stuff.
Yeah.
Not good. Not
I
good.
can look and see what it was.
No,
See-
no, it's all good. I think
It's not our
that's
topic, but it's kind of become a
fucking,
topic
no,
now.
no, that's some dark shit, man.
Well,
Those-
that's kind of like part of this next topic too with Jimmy Kimmel too.
Oh.
Dude, Jimmy Kimmel's
He's one
been
of the
he's been having a rough last couple weeks,
Mm.
man. Because a few weeks ago he was on his show giving Aaron Rodgers a bunch of shit because Aaron Rodgers was saying that the all of the UFO stuff is basically a distraction from all of the Silicon Valley stuff, which I think this whole indictment thing is just a big distraction from that. While with the one hand, they're like jingling the keys of like, ooh, Trump indicted, ooh, Stormy Daniels, whatever.
Yep.
And then on
Yeah.
this hand, they're like, yeah, we just bailed out like the biggest fucking bank or what, like, I don't even know which banks it is at this point. There's so many that are like
There was
about
one, like,
to collapse that have gotten bailed out.
It's whoever
like
the
Credit
Epstein
Suisse.
of today is, right? The new
Yeah.
Epstein's like, pay no attention to the Epstein behind the
Right.
curtain.
Right.
Well, and I'm sure if it was
Fucking,
because it was Deutsche Bank too is getting in a lot of trouble because Deutsche Bank
Sure,
was
bro.
working with Epstein for a long time. Even
And
after,
JP Morgan, man.
and JP
He-
Morgan
he's
were
got
still
the international bank connects all over
yeah.
the place.
And then our government's like, oh, we're gonna bail them out, and then other governments too. But anyways,
what's crazy is I swear I seen an interview with Biden say we are not billing them out.
well, yeah, no, that's not. it's not true. I think
Yeah.
it's what's called a lie.
I think
I
that
firmly
is
believe-
exactly
No,
what he
he
did.
I
said-
firmly believe he believed that.
Again.
every time, dude.
He said that the tax it's not going to be on the taxpayer's dime, which technically is true if they don't charge an actual official tax for it.
Yeah.
But if they're just like, instead what we're going to do is print a bunch of fucking money and bail out banks again, therefore you're
It's
just
all
being
2008
taxed.
all over again.
You're being
Yep.
taxed by having inflation going on.
Joe
recession,
Biden.
bailout. You're
We
bailed
are
out.
not stupid.
Right? It's like instead of
I
just
firmly
being like,
believe he believed what he was saying. Though. I think he got up there.
Oh, yeah, he
like I
did.
don't. The people who really make decisions here haven't given me the answer. But I
You
think,
got it, Joe.
But I think
Go
we're
say
not.
it.
yeah,
we're probably
they're
not.
telling me that we're not.
He
Yeah.
reads, he
I-
reads
we're
the
not.
teleprompter.
We're not.
and
I've
he's
been
not.
told
We're
that
not.
we're not doing that.
Okay, we're not.
Like,
I
no,
hope- and then
no.
next
Just
week-
read it, Joe.
Man, I know
Just
I
read
said
it.
Yeah.
You seen him pause when he was like, "It ain't gonna be you. We're not charging you. We're not bailing them out.
And he goes-
They're gonna have to pay for their own thing." You already knew it was a lie.
Cap.
and then his disclaimer,
All cap.
unless you
All
make
cap.
over $400,000 a
Capital
year, and then
Right.
See, okay, this is a good thing, and this is something that I think politicians are good at, and just generally people who use finance to manipulate the population is karmic retribution. They won't tell you an outright lie. They will tell you something that is pretty much true, but if you don't think about hard enough, you won't understand the consequences and like how they
the
cascade.
true context removed. Right.
It's
Exactly.
it's factual but not truthful.
So it's like they're guilt free. It's like they told you what was gonna happen. You just weren't fucking smart enough to like read into it. Apparently,
yeah.
so,
Hey,
yeah.
take these pills. You're gonna love yourself, but you might die.
You might, you might.
You're gonna feel great for about 10 minutes. During that
That's
time, you will be dying.
that's some DMT pills.
So,
Have you guys
yeah.
ever smoked DMT?
Not at all.
Oh man.
I'm not opposed, but
One of these days on the Patreon episode, dude.
I've done peyote though.
So I
I'm a
haven't
little old
fully
school.
understood this one yet either.
Okay. All right. So let me try and like, this is what I've gathered from this. Jimmy Kimmel was basically, calling Aaron Rodgers this conspiracy theorist because Jimmy Kimmel's trying to sort of
It seemed like he was trying to push him away from
push
this.
him away
Stop
from-
talking about this, bro.
about the Epstein client list.
Quit bringing attention to this shit, bro.
Right.
That's what it seemed like.
Yeah, he's like, what kind of loser would want to talk about the client list? Who's on the
Right.
flight logs? Who wants
Who
to
are you
even
gonna-
know about that?
Who calls Aaron Rodgers a loser?
Right.
This dude's been the
'cause he knows.
MVP of the NFL 2 times in a row, won Super Bowls.
it's so
point.
bad too because it's like Jimmy Kimmel used to be like pretty
Reputable.
edgy, dude.
Oh,
Like
no, he was
Reputable.
over the line.
he was over the line, dude. He was like,
the
dude.
Man Show.
oh, you
Remember
ever watched The Man
Show
Show?
with Adam
The Man
Carolla?
Show was
Oh, my
wild,
gosh.
dude.
My
And
God.
I like Adam Carolla like still, but like he's okay.
dead.
But
Rest in
like
peace.
what?
Adam Carolla.
Women
passed
on
away.
remember
Rest in
women on
peace.
No, he didn't.
trampolines. Women
Yes,
on
of
trampolines,
cancer.
right?
Adam
Yes.
Carolla's alive, dude. What are you talking about?
No, he's alive.
I promise you, Adam Carolla passed away. Rest
Unless it
in
was like
peace.
today, dude.
No, bro, this
When did
is
it
years ago, bro.
No,
No,
he's
he just
definitely
did a
he's definitely
comedy
alive,
special.
dude. He's definitely alive.
Adam
You guys are
All right,
stupid,
$10.
man.
$10.
I wish I loved you guys.
He's 58. I watched
No,
like
he
an
just did
episode
a-
of his show like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, he just did a comedy special too on Daily Wire.
Yeah,
I have no
You
idea
gotta
who
be
this
kidding
fucking
me,
guy
man.
is.
you don't know Adam Carolla? Well,
Dude, you gotta
he's like a
pull up-
radio guy for a long time. But anyway, okay, this whole thing with the Jimmy Kimmel shit, right?
Mm.
And then like, so he's getting all the shit, and then one of the other players was like, oh, like tell me you're on the Epstein flight logs without telling me you're on the Epstein flight logs, whatever. Like all these different people, and then there's like these different.
That's why he does what? Who wants to see it?
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
They don't wanna
They got the clips right here.
Needless to say, all this UFO talk has the tinfoil hatters going wild, including Green Bay whackpacker Aaron Rodgers, who offered this hot take on the Pat McAfee show.
I believe that this has been going on for a long time. Interesting timing
gets me hit in the
on
head a lot.
everything. There's a lot of other things going on in the world. Did you hear about the Epstein client list about to be released too?
What's that? What are you talking about?
There's some files that have some names on it that might be getting released pretty soon.
How does he not know what he's talking about? First of all, it's like, where the fuck have you been, dude?
Like, I
Pat
like how he
McAfee.
looks like he just rolled out of bed.
Yeah.
Like I got an interview with these people.
Yo, this fool on the
Cable's a
right looks like
fucking
a
mess.
shark.
There's no emotion at all.
I'm scared of the guy on the right.
He looks like the fucking the bad guy from Terminator 2, just like
He
dead.
looks like
T-1000.
the enemy in Karate Kid 3.
Oh, with the hair back? Yeah.
Yeah, the villain.
Hey, you know he's on the new season too.
Oh wait, here, let me see what he said at the end there.
Might be time to revisit that concussion protocol, Aaron.
Oh man.
Wow.
Right, so like,
Totally protecting him,
right,
man.
yeah.
I mean, he's a little winky.
That's weird.
know,
he
he
should
just
not
woke
have
up.
done that because he just killed half his career with that.
Okay,
Man.
yeah, and then here is Joel Bauman. Oh wait, no, this is a different thing.
Got a herpes outbreak.
Herpes
R.I.P.,
outbreak.
bro.
I don't think that's
yeah.
related to the
Hey,
thing.
And he
I've
was
seen
talking about
that.
it at the end of the fight, bro. That's tough.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's weird.
Because Tim Pool talked about this,
Oh, some
But-
Tim.
but because he plays the clip, I don't know if the clip is like still up.
What's on the news, Beanie
It
Man?
took me forever to get here. I'm winning.
I don't know, let's read the news. Let's get started by providing you with the important context of understanding what this video is by playing it for
Is this
you.
fool wearing like a
Again,
dog
this
collar?
I think
Look at that shit, bro.
I know.
What's up with that?
Would you believe that this man has herpes?
Not at all.
3.2 million views.
Studded.
The tweet
Man.
itself has 8.7 million views, and it's by a Twitter account called Michael3147. No idea who it is. Who is this?
Michael's blowing
2,000
up.
followers.
Come on, Tim.
Those doubting my NFT, you're looking at the guy. That's the reason that college athletes and high school athletes are getting paid today.
Oh wait, can you turn it up a little bit? The
Huh?
computer volume?
Sorry about that.
no.
No, I'm like, what the fuck's
He
this
really-
fool about to go out? This
I
fool
thought it
looks.
was Deion Sanders.
This fool looks like he was on Epstein's flight log.
I think
Yes.
He still got the pain collar.
he looks like he was on Kim Jong Il's flight log, dude, with Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, right.
High school athletes are getting paid today. Mr. Influencer to influencers. Secondly, Jimmy Kimmel, viral this. I fight to eradicate childhood malnutrition from the planet. And until they release the flight logs, you, the mainstream media, Hollywood, are all pedophiles to me. Eat dick.
Damn.
Damn.
Boy,
my
and I
God.
believe it 100%.
Come.
Am I canceled
Bro,
yet, he
I
says.
believe it 100%, man.
Am I canceled yet?
And then you look at how
Oh,
Jimmy
man.
Kimmel tried to do Aaron Rodgers over his comments, like, "Oh, you stupid, man." Like, come on, Jimmy, bruh.
I like how everybody who doesn't agree with Jimmy Kimmel or his pack of homies we're all insane. We're all wearing, tinfoil on our heads.
Well, man, it's like I UFC fighters just don't give a shit, too. Like they'll just say
just
it.
got done throwing your life around in this cage, and
That's
now you so much adrenaline is pumping through you. The only thing coming out your mouth is the truth.
yeah. Well, and it's like, what are you really gonna like? Are you gonna really cancel a UFC fighter? Like, you can't really, because it's like
can't.
most of the people that watch UFC are
can't.
like fucking agree with what he
They
said
get
too.
ranked.
You can't cancel a guy with a dog collar.
Yeah, true.
Oh, bro.
He's
He had
made
the
he's
Tupac-
made some decisions and assumptions about his perceptions that are
He had that
he's
over
fully-
the shoulder
He'll bite you.
9mm holder.
Oh
But yeah,
With-
dude,
with
and it's like
studded fucking studs on
dude's-
it, bro.
that dude's
got
definitely got
rhinestones on his pistol. You
he's
feel
got
me?
a
It was
safe word
beautiful.
and he does
I'd
not
take
use
one
it.
if I had.
There's
if I could
based
find it.
twinks in the UFC. What?
So yeah, people have been getting mad at Jimmy Kimmel because he's just so unfunny, dude. Like maybe at
I
one
fucking
point,
hate him,
at
dude.
one point, maybe he just had funny writers back in the day, but like the Oscars shit
Adam
that he was
Carolla.
did, yeah,
Kimmel
Adam
and
Carolla was probably
Jimmy
the
Kimmel
brains behind that.
and Jimmy Fallon. They
Oh,
both
yeah.
are just such
They're interchangeable.
like,
Like,
non-existent
we forget
personality
that this guy was a
motherfuckers.
nobody.
Like,
He was a nobody, and the only reason he's a somebody today is because he put very beautiful women on a very derogatory show. That if it was playing today, right, he
Yeah,
would
it
already
wouldn't
have been
pass. It
canceled.
wouldn't pass.
He'd have been,
dude.
they're
he'd
like,
have been
we're not feeling the
Me
vibe,
The
chief.
He'd have been
Man
Me
Show
Too'd
would've been like-
immediately.
Right, and he did. I mean, he did blackface like at least twice.
That's
Ain't nobody said nothing about
Again,
it. But
right.
they got
These
the nerve.
People bring it up, but he's like
They only
grandfathered
matter-
into the industry that you can't really like.
It's all
They
good
got
when
the
you're in the
nerve to
club.
say something
'Cause,
about
like-
Robert Downey Jr. in the greatest role of his life.
Right. Yeah,
right.
You
He'll
know?
never be canceled for that.
Tropic
No, but they try. It seems like every
Well,
2 years they try to.
It's because they use his memes like crazy. They use that as a meme like crazy.
Even if you've never seen the movie, you've seen like Tropic Thunder.
You've seen
memes
that
and-
meme.
Yeah.
You've seen that meme.
You know half of them. You know the part from the jungle out.
bro.
100%,
I mean,
bro.
you can be a terrible
fucking
person
movie.
and you can have Epstein connections and you can have all this horrible past as long as you like bend the knee to the
Yeah, you gotta be on the
whatever
team.
whatever the team narrative, the establishment
Yeah, yeah,
narrative
yeah.
is. It's like because then it's like they have all this dirt on you. You're basically compromised. They're like keep pushing the message. And then, like, we'll let you live, basically.
But
like,
the saddest and craziest part about that clip is Jimmy let them all know that he's worried about these things coming out.
Oh, yeah.
And just by his body language, if you read body language, you know he's worried.
He got
Yeah.
real tense. He like tensed up with it. He gets all. He's like,
Nobody
yeah,
needs
that's
to
so
see that.
crazy, right?
That scares
Who
me.
wants
And-
to
and
see
it's
that?
also
Nobody
too-
wants to see that.
Don't
We've
worry
already
about it.
talking
Don't
about
think
it for,
about
for
it.
2 years. A woman's already gone to
Yeah.
prison for it.
Right.
Nobody cares. It's over. It's old news.
Oh my
for
god.
Just like the pandemic, it's all gone.
Yeah.
It's
He's
over.
afraid of getting Clinton aided, basically.
Oh, yeah.
He's scared. You can
because
tell.
I don't even think Jimmy Kimmel
Oh,
believes all
there's
the
a
shit
blue
he's
dress
saying.
out there, bro. There's
Oh.
a blue dress out there.
Well, because Jimmy Kimmel was also good friends with Jeffrey Epstein's personal chef, who worked for Epstein like on his island for years and years. And there was this whole thing where like all these victims from the island like were reaching out. They're like, "Hey, you like have a responsibility to tell the truth about what you saw on that fucking island." And he's just denying, and he like, "I don't know, man. I was just a cook. Whatever. I was just following orders. I was just making orders." You know.
And he got,
Like-
he got something to stand by it.
It's like,
But
dude,
when
I
it comes
couldn't
to
see that at a
Jimmy,
buffet.
all you got to do is be like, eeny, meeny, miny, Jimmy.
yeah.
He was out there not cooking. He wasn't out there cooking.
No, he
No.
was swimming in the deepest pools.
Yeah.
Bro.
But even with the
He was
cook,
in the lagoons.
even the
Little
cook
Brooke
has seen some
Shields,
shit though.
You feel me?
Man, I'm just picturing Ratatouille scenes going down in fucking Jeffrey Epstein's massive
terrible,
like
man.
kitchen.
so
Um,
sad, too.
to think about what really went on out there, all these powerful people, they get away to this island to do the dirtiest of things.
Inhumane.
Right.
So they could fly away and come back and lead us.
It sounds made up.
It sounds like the Hostel.
It's wild because
You ever
it's
watched that movie Hostel?
I haven't actually, no.
classic.
You
Such a
gotta
classic.
watch that movie, dude.
So good.
Rich people basically pay to do whatever they want to random tourists.
Right.
Right. Yeah, those
Kinda
guys
like,
have those guys
That's
have
exactly
a hound
what
dog
it is,
tattoos
man.
for sure.
In the vein
And you
of,
could see in Jimmy's eyes, he was scared. He don't want nobody to talk about that on his platform.
Well, and
I
it's like
check them
why-
for a team tattoo. They've all got one, for
right. I was gonna say too, it's
Like
just
a little Captain.
Well, like on that movie, anybody who
Epstein
who
to the
did it,
bridge.
they got
a
remember
little
they got
triangular
tattooed.
like swirl.
No,
or
they're like hound dogs or something, but they're
Yeah.
bloodhounds or whatever. Yeah.
Dude, yeah, I'm sure anywhere where there's like a remade Egyptian temple with like an underground chamber, I'm sure there's probably nothing sketchy going on in any of that. But what can you really do about these people? Like, there's nothing you can really do to fight the power, except for what one man, I assume was a man, because he left a man-sized present for good old Hillary Clinton. Let's pull up the story from Business Insider.
What?
Okay, what were they seeing though? That's what I want to know.
No,
They were
Some
some like it hot. Yeah,
Some like what's that about? What's the deal with that?
it's about Epstein Island.
They're like, good job.
Yeah.
It's very
Well,
accurate.
he left a hot
would
one.
not
He
doubt
definitely
it.
left a hot one.
I don't know.
That's
dude.
for sure, bro.
Not, I guess not all like it hot though. Only some.
I'm sure they did not enjoy that one.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, steaming hot.
Chelsea's kind of hot now.
oh my god.
Man, this man's down
He's,
bad.
he's
What?
okay.
she
If
was
it weren't for the
drinking.
family ties,
Man.
All right, how many
Everybody
how many
make
beers,
mistakes.
gentlemen? Hillary
How many
Clinton.
beers?
How many
How many
beers?
beers for Hillary or how many beers for Chelsea?
I said Hillary.
Oh,
what do you
dude.
think I?
4 for Hillary.
Wow.
And none for Chelsea.
Just straight up.
They
You're like,
both
fine.
can get it.
Oh my god, they both look. They
trying to
both
get that family money.
they both look like
I
AI
would
generated
love-
faces.
I know, right?
I would
mean,
love to
considering-
become part of this family fold.
Considering what Bill's like probably Epstein-esque proclivities are, I'm pretty sure Hillary's a freak. To be honest
Oh,
with you.
bro, come on. She let it all go too. She's like, oh yeah, I knew about
Okay.
that.
Do you know? I can't
relationship was
say it on
completely
air,
open, probably.
and I won't say it on air. But do you know about the tape with Hillary Clinton?
Oh,
I don't.
The one tape. All right, I'll tell you after
That's
the
gonna
show.
be something I am not
The
searching
alleged
for.
the alleged
It
tape.
will not be in my Google DM or my Google search
Is
engine.
it anything
Not
like
only can you
Kim's
not find it
tape?
on Google, but the reasons that you shouldn't look for it are because you'll end up in prison if you watch it. So it's in that sense both hard to confirm or deny.
Oh, that
so.
kind of porn? Man, I'm trying to see
Yeah,
that.
and no, you're not. Trust
not
me. No,
the
you're
jail
not.
kind.
No, you're not.
Wait, have you
So
actually
don't
seen
Google
Bob?
it.
I haven't.
It's
No.
almost like red flagging when you look up the bad shit online, right? They're
it's-
red
it's-
flag me.
it's a
I
very-
haven't
Oh, it's in
watched
some
the
dark
video.
corner of the world. You
It's
probably got to
a-
pay
I've
to go
seen
into
I've
somebody's
seen
garage. and see.
screenshots of the video.
It's an urban legend love
And
horror
then they
thing.
disappeared.
All right, yeah.
Without burying the lead here.
Yeah.
We,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
don't want to bury the lead like we bury shit in the woods. But Hillary and Chelsea Clinton took in a Broadway show and then someone pooped near them per report. So this is maybe your only way of getting back at the authorities.
2 human turds.
Yeah.
though.
Yes.
One
not-
for each of them.
Not just
Someone
one.
pooped. Yeah. A fellow theater goer pooped near Hillary and Chelsea Clinton during a performance of Some Like It Hot last week.
Such a good name. This fits so well.
Some like it's steamy.
Yeah.
It's like the memes make themselves, you know, man.
Some like it hot.
According to one of the outlet's sources, quote, 2 human turds were found or discovered near the famous mother-daughter pair.
Wait.
Why you gotta say
I
mother-daughter
could
pair,
go all
too?
day on these 2 human turds.
Oh,
Okay.
Well, are we talking about Jake and Paul? Or are we talking about, like, there's a lot of human turds?
Andrew Cuomo and Chris Cuomo.
The Island Boys. The Island
the
Boys.
two Island
The
boys.
Island Boys? 2 Island Boys were found near.
Well, that's
Hillary
good.
Those guys are a fucking joke, dude. I'll tell you that much.
Dude, hey, but it's entertainment. I'm not
I
gonna
like when
lie.
they
They're
like
funny
to-
as fuck.
I like when their
Or at
little
least-
asses pretend to fight.
I like when they
Absolutely.
try to box. Yeah,
They get the boxing going.
Oh, you see what I did?
See,
fool?
that'd be cool to get one of them and Jake Paul in a ring. That'd be cool.
Oh,
They're
wow.
tiny though. Island
Jake
Boys
can
are
fight,
fucking
though.
scrawny
Jake can
though.
fight.
That full
Look,
Jake Paul.
how about this? We'll even it up. Both of them can go in with Jake Paul,
I think Jake
and
will
I
get
will
him,
still
man.
pay.
Okay,
67
okay.
I will pay $67 or $100, whatever it's going to cost to pay per view
The
so that Dana
2v1.
White can get the pocket.
all day.
Can we do it and then line up the second one automatically? Right?
We need to
don't know
down,
who's going to
no.
win, but can we get
No,
Jake Paul
Jake
and Island Boys
against
too
them both at
already?
once.
We need
Yeah,
like a
that's
change.org petition for this shit,
Jake,
right?
Jake will beat the hell out of them boys. Jake really does box.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't even sweat in that fight.
Yeah,
Like,
not at all.
He's gonna full out.
Which
you know,
one was
I
the
would
one that
love
went to
to
the
hear,
Japanese
like-
forest, dude?
What's that?
Which one went to the fucking?
I think that was
Like, that was
Logan.
Logan?
I think that was
Okay,
Logan
yeah.
Paul.
Yeah, Logan got the L.
Logan's a
Yeah,
little
Logan's
more
a L.
spiritual with fighting. You know, he's a little more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
you have
been
to
in
look at
touch
him.
with the other
really
side.
surprised how well they're doing though. Like dude, just killing it. Like, what are you gonna say? The guy's doing good.
It turned out to be less of a joke than everybody,
Everybody
kind
thought
of
he was gonna
yeah.
get whipped.
We knew
Yeah,
what was
but
going to
he's-
happen when he
it's
faced
not.
a real boxer. He
Yeah.
faced Tommy, and
Yeah.
Tommy's a real boxer, and he gave and all the excuses. Oh, I wasn't fighting like me. I wasn't doing me, bro. You faced a real boxer and got mopped up.
Every fighter
Yeah.
says
It is
it
what
too.
it is.
Everyone is as soon as you get somebody in, then they got a plan that's opposite of your ability, right?
Yeah,
It's
Bound to happen.
that's the I just wasn't prepared. I went in and what are you gonna say? You got your ass whipped.
That's like when you actually get the appropriate like matchmaking on Halo or whatever, and you finally get people. It's like, all right,
That can play.
yeah, exactly.
Speaking of which,
Let's
we were
go
talking
make
about
these 10
doing, and I don't mean to spoil the idea too early here. Loki, the ZUDECAST boxing idea.
Oh fuck yeah, dude.
where
Yeah,
we just
yeah.
do
Friday
do live
night
boxing.
sissy fights.
Like yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Get you one of those like bar punch bag machines.
Dude, they're the best.
Oh, the how strong?
Yeah.
How
Dude,
strong
they're
are
the
you?
best.
Yeah.
If you're ever in a bar and you're getting drunk and you feel like somebody just brushed up against you, this and that, just walk over to the Howler head punching machine, bro.
Yeah,
Just let them know,
look them in the eyes first.
Throw $10 in and smack
Nail
it
it,
as
yeah.
hard as you can. It's,
This one's for you.
Hey,
it's
we had
gonna
a
go
great
up.
time doing that this week
Bro,
too.
that was the greatest. Every violent bar needs a Howler head punching machine. In
Is
it.
that what happened
know.
before?
Did-
You know.
oh, yeah, you guys
the
were saying you got-
ensuing circumstances.
You guys were saying you got in a bar
we
fight.
were here.
Dude, we got beat up by millennials.
What happened?
I didn't get beat up by any millennials. I tried so hard to stop
speak
the
for
fight
yourself,
from
man.
happening. Like literally, we were outside, and one of our party, I'm not going to name him, one of our party was drunk, and he looked at another guy who he thought was giving him attitude, who wasn't. It was just an innocent.
He was wearing a Tupac shirt.
He was wearing a Tupac shirt, right? But I don't know
Sends
why
a
that
message.
matters.
Man, I'm gonna say it. My cousin walked up and was like, "You bang, bro?"
Like he was like throwing
dude
his
was
little
like-
spirit fingers at him.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, nobody knows what that is. That's like 80 years ago, right? but he throws the
He was
guy.
doing it out of love, man.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
just fucking with him, you know.
Yeah.
But dude wasn't having it.
No, he threw,
It's a bit of a weird way, but
completely
you
threw
know.
him off. I
yeah.
I get him out of the situation. We go into the bar. It's like, let me buy you a drink. My cousin's just being crazy, right? You know, and so I finally get him calmed down, and here comes my cousin again. Like comes in hot, bro. Like
Like
your
a
cousin
fajita.
too, by the way.
Yeah.
Comes in hot, bro, and he goes, dude, I want to apologize. And this guy, like, just the most violent apology you'd ever have, right? I just want to shake his hand. I just want to shake his hand. He's like, and so he in his drunk stupor, the guy kind of pushes him away. He's not really having it. So he goes outside and he thinks he squashed it, but it's not, right?
Oh, boy.
Either way, two of the guy's buddies went out with him and started talking crap. And then all of a sudden, these guys say something, and the door just pops open, or it's really already open. They just come flying through the doorway at these 5 teenagers, which are finally able to drink, I think. They're probably between 21 to 25.
Who is
right?
they?
Damn.
The group of 5. But they being
They
this
being who?
cousin and one of your brothers come flying into the bar, and I mean, I'm on. So here's here they are. Right, you can't really see.
When it's
Here-
time to go,
here
it's
they
time
are.
to go.
Here's the pool table.
It's time to go.
My cousin takes this haymaker stance and throws it, right?
Gives
and
it to
misses by like at least 3 inches, right?
It was
but
about
he hits
10.
He hits the pool table.
With
And
his head.
then hits the ground. Then the guy goes after him, starts punching him, and I end up having to like choke out a teenager, to, like pull him off.
He wasn't a teenager. We were in a bar.
Well,
He
he
was
must have
over
been 21.
21.
It felt like it though, you know.
But he did have braces, so it makes us feel like he's
when
a
you're nearly
teenager,
40,
you know?
choking at a 25-year-old feels like punching a minor,
Right,
right?
right. When they're like,
You're like, I don't know if this is
But
appropriate.
it was more like
Definitely
talk about
not
UFC. Like, I watch so much UFC, you automatically go into those rear naked chokes that you practice from your couch.
that you watch on TV and shit. You gotta
Yeah, you're
grab
like-
yourself by
like,
the
well, I
back.
gotta get it deep, and then I gotta push down. Oh, perfect. And then you're
He
pulling
started
them
to
away,
go
right?
out.
Like, yeah, gotcha.
And you look
Shake
at him on
him
the ground,
around a
like,
little
wow, that worked. It was like 8 seconds.
Surprisingly, if you watch
That
these
really
types of
worked.
things on TV,
Well.
these things really work in real life.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
that works.
I have to say we watched The Big Lebowski last night, and I was saying to these guys,
Oh, that's a
literally,
good
like you have dude energy and you have Walter energy, like it's insane, and this just proves it to me right now. You're just like I just
my
dropped him, like
I don't, but he's got the aviators. I don't
Yeah,
need,
that's true,
I need
I know.
aviators.
Go with it.
I need the Walter aviators.
oh man, I got some around here.
No, these are prescription, man. They ain't coming out.
It's like I don't do podcasts on Shabbat.
Exactly.
Unless it's an emergency.
Uh,
Dude, they're, like just rewatching that movie, there's so many fucking classic lines. Just like, I can get you a tow by 3 p.m.
I know, dude. Oh my god.
And I'm
Yeah.
that guy, like people
Nail
lock,
polish and everything.
people lock their keys out of their car. Be like, I'll get you in your car.
the funny thing is, these guys are like, for the next 2 days, are all like, "Man, I can't believe we did that." I'm laughing the entire time. I've been laughing, like, because I did my part. I tried to buy a homie a drink. I tried to get him away from the situation. I pulled him off of hitting my buddy, or hit my cousin.
Sometimes
So
you just
right.
feel
Like-
like scrap.
I feel like I did my job, and I just think it's hilarious now. I look at it like, dude, whatever.
It's super funny. My
So
cousin,
funny.
every time I see him now, he's just like,
Oh
with
yeah,
his elbow, because
He
he
did
done
so
fell
much-
on his elbow.
that guy hit him 3 times, and I
Busted
think
his knee
none of
up.
the damage came from him.
Man.
But look, the craziest shit though. This is the craziest thing. We go back to this little town I'm not gonna name, and it's like we go back to the same bar like a night or 2 nights later,
2 nights,
right?
yeah.
And we done got kicked out of it, so we hoping we're welcome again, right? So we get in there, we welcome, boom, and we sitting down, and one of the old regulars comes up, and goes, "Man, I heard your cousin Carl beat the shit out of somebody in here."
It's because he's a local, and the guys they were teaming up weren't locals, right?
Fuck,
So now the entire story is flipped to where
The whole
Carl's the
story,
good
and
guy.
I
He didn't
am.
start any problems, and he beat up
My cousin
these
didn't
dudes,
start
right?
nothing.
That's so great.
History is
And
written by
he-
the victors.
Oh, everybody in the town knew it happened. Like we get a call in the morning,
so
early in the
funny.
morning, because he doesn't remember half of it. Like from his wife who works at the gas station in the middle of town. The cops have already been there and told her about it. Other people
it's
leaving
small town.
the bar have already told her about it. He didn't even get a chance to like give his side of the story. Like,
She come home talking about, "I heard you beat up 5 people."
why can't you show your face in our town bar again? Why?
It's like
man.
the story,
50 men.
it's so real, bro. The story grows so fast, like overnight. Like all
There
of a
was a
sudden,
shootout.
all of a sudden,
small town
him and his
activities.
cousin done mopped
Yep.
up a whole gang of outlaws that came in on it. I swear, bro, it's so funny, bro. When in all actuality, he swung and missed and smacked his whole head on the pool table.
Man, I swear.
The best fighter in that bar was that pool table.
Hey,
And
we came back
to his
in.
point. It's not regulation size either, so it's
well,
really
that's-
messed up.
It's
That's why
like
it
fighting
hit
in the 25-foot octagon. You know what I mean? We come back
Oh,
2
my
days later, and somebody told him, "Pool table 2-0.
The pool table is 2-0.
Pool table is 2-0.
I just want to go back to this poop story for like 2 seconds because
Oh yeah, speaking of shit,
Nasty.
yeah,
man.
since you
let's
guys
take
got
a
a
look
shit, dude. I just can't get over this line here. Okay, so we got the house crew dealt with it very appropriately and quickly, and then Hillary and Chelsea remained in the theater for the second act. Okay, fine. Yeah, they're like,
Sat right
it's some
next
like
to
it
the
hot.
seat.
No, somebody must have cleaned
then
it up. One
it
of
says-
her people cleaned it up.
Yeah,
with their hands.
yeah, that's the thing. When you
She's like, no, pick it up with your hand.
yeah,
I guarantee.
You allowed
That's
it to
how it
happen.
but then it
evil.
says the person who defecated may be a repeat offender. Per page 6,
A
one of our
serial
source-
shitter, bro.
I know, like one of their sources saw an eyewitness speaking to a house manager who said it was actually the 4th time it had happened.
Wait,
no
the 4th time
way.
the eyewitness had seen
And it's
it,
not
or
in
the
the same
fourth
day.
time it
How do
happened?
you
Or maybe
shit
to-
4 times?
To
Maybe
the Clintons, right? Like the 4th time the
I don't know if they mean
Clintons got shit bumped.
time we come here.
I don't know. I know. That's the curse,
I don't
dude.
know. I
He's,
think
like,
the only
waiting.
comment. I think the only. What if it was actually her and Chelsea who had like they went on a daughter-mother dinner first, and there was something bad in the batch, right? And they just basically crapped
don't
them
feel right.
each, and then moved over one chair.
This is a
And
false
then
flag.
blamed it. Wow, this is a whole nother angle,
Did you
bro.
see that? Did you see that? He crouched
Who
down.
gets them? Let it get that close to poop by them.
How do you not hear that too?
Or see it.
Well, okay, the guy's just got to have some like real like solid loads of turds coming out.
must
Because the
bring
only
it.
way you can get it that quiet is if it's
How'd
just
he get
one
two?
slick.
He's
like,
got to be bringing it
like
in a bag.
Right.
He's
And he got
already
two.
pooped in a bag and he's dumping it.
Okay,
by.
maybe he's a
He's
stealth.
got to be.
He's just like
Maybe.
maybe
Oh,
shitting.
maybe it
But
was
how do you-
It's premeditated shitting.
Yeah.
There's no way to smuggle
first
shit
degree,
into
bro.
the theater, though.
That's first degree, and that's like a capital offense, man.
fucking premeditated shit.
premeditated shitting. Dude,
That's a real crime.
the only way to smuggle shit into
I
a
was trying to
Broadway
schedule mine,
theater
too.
is in your ass. That's the
No,
only way.
no, not at all, man. They got some very good Ziploc bags nowadays,
damn.
bro.
Oh, you
The
know about
triple
that zip
seal,
tag?
yeah.
Get those freezer
All you
lock, zip
got
tied,
to do is vacuum seal the shit, get it in there, slice it open, dump it.
Dude,
Did they
what-
check the turds for slice marks? Because you know you can't get that slice that clean.
You ain't got to touch the turd when you do it.
I'm surprised they didn't have a fucking bomb squad in there. Like, what's in the turd?
I think
Right.
Is it gonna
I
explode?
mean, there's
Like,
DNA in the turd. I know
carry
that.
it out like
I know there's like a guy in a hazmat suit. Yeah, he's like 2319. Yeah,
I'm surprised the
Oh,
Secret
God.
Service ain't testing it for DNA.
You know, there's like one lady.
I know,
There's
right?
like one lady there who used to be like a lifeguard, and they'd have like code browns every once in a while, and she just like, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. And then she goes and works at this place. It's a great new job, and all of a sudden, Code Brown is in the middle. She's like,
right.
"Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
You know?
For real.
right now,
Well, like, what are you gonna do for your next job? I'm gonna work at sanitation. We're gonna go
No more
empty.
Code
God's
Brown.
talking to me.
I
I got
felt
a
like
calling.
life was
I got
telling
a-
me something.
She's like,
God damn it.
how'd you clean it up without any streaks? Dude, I got plenty of experience with it.
She knows the tag. She knows the tag.
No snail trails in this theater.
But to get back to it, Chris, I think that's just disgusting.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Oh
Dude,
my
do you
God.
guys? What do you
Unbecome
think?
Slug.
What do you think over under is on like? Was it Hillary or Chelsea that left this stinker? And then they're trying to
60-40.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that like they're trying to blame it on someone else. It's a false flag.
It's hard. It's hard to know.
They seem
It's
like
hard to know.
they seem like public guilt shitters. Like you know,
Maybe
Public-
I don't know.
Christ-
I
a
look
crisis shitter?
But I look at
Yeah,
both of them, and they
crisis
both
shitters,
they
yeah.
both
Crisis
look
shitter.
they both look to me to be so anal that I'm not sure they let they let anything out.
Oh, you know, you have a point. Actually,
Maybe they can't keep
I
anything
think
in.
those asses are so tight. They definitely ain't their shit.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, no, that might.
I don't think
actually be the
anything comes
problem.
out of there. At least once a year, maybe they'll.
That's true.
They'll go get it removed.
Well, in that case, they should have considered that a gift, right? If they've had problems shitting their entire life, and here someone comes along and presents them with the wholesome shit right in front of their faces, they should be grateful. That's that's my.
So
opinion.
that's what they look like, right?
Ah, yes. This is what the peasants do.
Let me show you how to
We don't
do
poop.
it.
We just have a guy every day come to our house and give us a colonic, cleans us out, and we leave. Right? It's part of our health regime. It's part of our
Sounds
health.
good.
It just evaporates from our bowels. Oh my God, the Phantom Shitter, man.
Yeah, the Phantom Shitter, the Phantom of the Opera.
Indeed.
I mean, there's so,
That'd be crazy. He's like
there's
wearing
so
a
many good
half
lead-ins. Like the place, it had to be the Some Like It Hot play, like of all plays, right?
Right.
It wasn't Mamma Mia, right?
Right.
Right? It was
Oh, Mamma
It wasn't Hairspray.
Wasn't
It
Mamma
wasn't
Mia.
Hairspray.
Wasn't Phantom. Wasn't friggin' Blonde or Hairspray or nothing. No, it's got to be Some Like It Hot. But you know what? That guy, 100% likes it hot.
Loved it.
He
hot.
I know.
loved that
Well,
shit,
I
bro.
like that we're assuming.
In
I like
the
we're
zone.
assuming it's a guy.
The adrenaline
You're
rush.
right. You're right.
Ooh,
It does seem
you
like
are-
something only
yeah.
a dude would do. But
But if you're a woman,
he did have two full-size turds, dude.
it's the perfect.
He had
crime.
to have already
Yeah.
did it and brought them. You can't shit twice like that. It
That-
just don't happen.
Unless
it
it's
takes
like
at least
one
an hour in
normal-size shit
between.
and like the one that comes
Right.
off at the end.
We
you
need
know?
an investigate. We
Like
need
he
like
didn't
to
get all
bring
the
in
way through, so you got to kind of work
the
through
fecal
that last
forensics
piece.
team needs to take a look
First
at
shit
this.
when you wake up. The second shit happens when you get to work. Okay,
If
that's
you're
when
lucky.
the second one
after
hits.
you've had the
If you're
coffee,
lucky,
the
yeah.
coffee's
And
like
the shoot's gotta
when,
get
it,
lubricated.
when you least expect it is when the second one hits.
Funny.
Man, I don't even be
There's
getting
no way
logs
to
like
time
That's
that.
crazy.
That's a premeditated shitter.
I'm
I
like,
think you're right. I think it's got to be premeditated.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
You're onto
right.
something there.
Yep.
All right, what do we got
What-
next
we got
here
the
with
we got the Extentation trial. We got Rick Ross,
the?
and then we got ChatGPT.
I don't know.
Thought
Do
it
you guys
was
want to talk?
Extension.
I have no idea, honestly.
Extension.
I don't know if you guys super want to talk about that. I think it's pretty, straightforward. Like,
Yeah, they're about to. They got Drake. Got to testify now.
yeah,
th-
yeah.
Well,
They
they already
got,
Well,
found
does
three
he,
men,
though? Like,
three men
'cause-
guilty. Yeah, no.
Yeah, they
Yep.
convicted 3 guys.
yep.
The funny thing is, what Drake did was hire a ghostwriter to write songs for him. What the ghostwriter did was snitch on Drake in his verses, and Drake didn't even realize it. That's what they're saying online.
Like he
That's
wrote
some slick.
He bought some
maniacal
ghostwritten
stuff
verses
right
from
there.
somebody who really wrote about the stuff, and
Yeah.
now Drake's on the hook for it.
Wow.
That's fucking wild. Somebody is.
That's funny. I mean,
That's why you can't trust nobody,
Wow.
man.
That's why you
Like,
write your
Just
own lyrics,
deliberate
kids.
evidence.
yeah.
What you can plead the fifth now, buddy, but this multi-million-dollar track
He'll
just-
get off, bro. He's a
Yeah.
millionaire, and he's got documented proof that he bought these lyrics from somebody. He's
that's
a-
funny.
He
Where
buys
it's just like,
lyrics.
I
It
didn't
was
even, I
used
didn't
as a
write that shit.
delivery. It was used as a
Right.
delivery
Drake is
tool.
an actor, bro.
Yeah.
And when he got into the rap music, he knew this is just another acting gig. So he
Right.
figured out real quick, I'm going to get the best lyricists and buy stuff from them and keep them silent, use it, and do his thing. Don't get me wrong. I love
Lots of
Drake.
people do that.
I love Drake's music, man.
It's,
like
it's more of a
everybody else.
business than like a
It's
creative
a
enterprise.
business.
It's like-
That's right.
it's
Drake
weird
is
with-
smart.
It's like weirder with rappers too than when it's with just like a singer, you know? Like a lot of times it's like, okay, it's like someone else writes the song, but then you just do a great job delivering the song. But when it's rap, it's like, shouldn't you write your own bars? And yeah, shouldn't you be able to tell what's like, he's like in the booth, he's like, I killed a man on Tuesday. And then it's like,
Yeah,
and he's
come
like, this
on,
is hard,
Drake.
dude.
We
He's
know
like, this is
Aubrey.
good.
Aubrey,
a
you
guy
didn't
died
kill
on
nobody.
Tuesday.
Yeah, he's like 5:30 a.m. behind the Safeway. It's like getting hella specific with it. It's like, yeah, this is good. I don't see anything wrong with this.
Yeah,
let's
this
drop it.
total-
Isn't there
feels
something
like real
going
life
on
experience.
with the like laws protecting artists from being incriminated in terms of using their musical content as evidence?
Not
I
if
think,
you're a rapper, dude.
I think there should be a fiscal responsibility, but I think if somebody decided to use you as a medium to spread the evidence, right? I think that's a whole different thing. Right?
That's
Like,
weird, yeah. Because when it's right, it's like
Yeah,
because a
you
lot
just
of
need to
rappers
know.
will snitch on themselves in their own lyrics that they wrote.
Every time.
Newsom just passed a thing where it was like that's not a thing anymore in California.
Yeah, see,
That it
that's what I
can't
was
be
saying. I
used
was
in
like,
court.
So they use your lyrics against you in California now?
no,
They
no,
can't.
they can't.
They
They
can't
can't.
anymore.
They shouldn't
use-
be.
because
Yeah.
it's a First Amendment.
Sibo,
right?
Sibo
That's what he said.
from Sacramento, California, was the first rapper that I heard of in California that has his lyrics used against him to get locked up, and they did, and it changed the laws. Also, X-Rated was one of the first rappers I know that got locked up because of his lyrics. Well, actually, it was because of his album cover. They placed a gun that he had on his album cover with murders. So
Oh wow.
I could see that though.
Wait.
I could see that one.
okay, this reminds me. What's
Feels
the name
like
of
a
that one like
mistake.
metal or like grunge band where they have this like most cursed history where the band members are like
Mayhem.
mayhem, where like the band members like killed each other and then like
Yeah, I think one of the members like
He
killed him.
unalived.
Yeah. He unalived himself, and then yeah, they used it as the album cover for like their next album. Like the picture like of his like head
yeah.
is gnarly. Like
Yeah.
Watch the movie Lords of Chaos. They made a movie about it. It's
Yeah.
fucking sick. It's
Yeah.
really it's really super interesting.
It's the
but
most
they-
like gnarly
Lords of
band.
Chaos, I'm gonna have to look it
Yeah,
up.
they're insane. Yeah,
Yeah.
they would literally go around and like burn down churches because like they like were like all into like Nordic black metal and shit, and so they were like, "Fucking Christian churches stole our culture, so we're gonna fucking fight back." And they were like literally go
Yeah,
burn
bad.
down
they were like
churches and
what,
shit.
like
That's
Norwegian
crazy.
or
Yeah, Norway.
Yeah,
It's real though, man.
They made the black metal genre like what it is.
yeah, that's weird because like
That's really fucked
yeah,
up.
in a lot of like Scandinavian places, it's like yeah, like Christianity took over after like all of the Viking stuff. So like yeah, there's like some contingent of people that are like nah, I
It's like
still fuck with that Viking
newsflash.
shit.
Every place where there's now a Judeo-Christian presence, that happened.
Yeah, basically yeah.
Man.
Okay, yeah, it happened in Norway. Okay, great. That wasn't the first place they started. They started and then they went to all the islands around them, and they, then they took, and once they united their kingdom, they started reaching out. Right.
That's just history, man.
I think
Spreading.
why some kids from Sacramento would want to tap into that though is because they just looking for something to be their own. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
and out here
It's a
just-
huge identity crisis right
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so-
like the Q shaman guy with the fucking with the buffalo hat and like the whatever he's like.
That's
like
about to
this-
become a whole generation's
Dude.
personality.
Right.
Straight up like,
Oh, dude, I'm so afraid for
But
what my
yeah.
grandchildren are gonna be.
yeah, me too, man.
I have a daughter. She's almost 17. Dude, I can't even imagine.
That's crazy, man.
With
Time
the,
flies
with
by.
the, with the
Just
next
think about
generation.
yourself at 17.
Yeah, that's
right?
crazy.
Yeah. What we got next?
Like, I was just
Chris?
thinking about that. It's like not even that long. That was like barely over 10 years ago. And I'm just like, having these weird like moments where I'm comparing like how far I've come over the last 10 years, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, it's weird just like having no more like kids in the family, like on my side of the family, especially like everybody's 18 or older, and then seeing like,
well, your generation's supposed to start the next one, right? So one of you guys got to get on it, right?
yeah,
Right. I know. I was thinking about
Time
that.
for old Bob to have some kiddos.
It's crazy because I'm like
we'll see.
like my family's so small too, where it's just like barely anyone has any kids, and then it's like, damn, like it's like if you have a small family and then like people in that small family like get divorced and like separate or move away, it's like, dude, there ain't. No, that's the thing though. You just gotta fucking. It's like that's the thing. I think there's a lot of people that would love to have a ton of kids, but it's like just financially, it's just no, exactly.
Nobody who's had a ton of kids will tell you they ever wanted to have a ton of kids. Maybe some.
Yeah.
Right?
What
But
I
for
hate
the most
is those
part,
folks.
like I used to have a friend at work who had 4 children. He went off to war, came back, and started having kids later in life with his wife. They had 2, and they're like, you know what? Let's get one more, and then they had twins.
Yeah, that always happens.
And they had him because he did it right when he came back. They had him like 1 year, and then the next year, and then the next year. So at one point, he's got anywhere from 18 months to 4 years old. The guy would come into work looking like he had been through war. Like the guy had actually come back from war and looked like it was worst on him. Like
seems like the best way is to like spread it out, like get like
dude,
at
least one
between.
needs to be old enough to babysit or help you with the
right.
others or something.
Right at some
I don't
point.
know. We stopped at 1, but
Yeah, man. So I memean, yeah, with this whole X-Temptation story, like there's 3 guys that were tried together. They've all gotten, so it was during more than 27 hours of deliberations across 8 days, jurors asked to review more than 1,000 text messages, photos, videos seized from the cell phones of the 2 defendants. And there's like a whole bunch of stuff. And then they did bring up the Drake thing too. The defense pointed vaguely to other theories of the crime, including behind-the-scenes wrangling that attempted to include information about X-Tentacion's online beef with the megastar Drake, who fought successfully to avoid being deposed in the case.
That's real.
They also said that Allen, who had previous felony convictions, was an unreliable witness. So yeah,
I feel like the Drake thing might have honestly just been more hype than anything else because people want to see something happen with
used
that.
to ghostwrite for Drake. Okay.
Did he? And I mean,
Yes.
that's not surprising.
I believe it.
Like he had a
That's the
crazy
connection.
crazy fast rise. Like
Yeah, he was a fast writer and he wrote for the youth right now. You know what I mean? And Drake loved that about him.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of comparisons to them both at when Extension first came out. But and I don't know all the logistics of it, but I do know that Drake bought lyrics from Extension. From what I've read online, they've worked together.
Little
believe it.
extension cord, yeah.
Extension cord.
I'm
yeah.
sorry, it's not appropriate. It's too soon still.
All right, yeah. Let's
It's
see.
hard
So,
to say the name right many times in a row.
Extension.
Bro, I still don't know what the right way is.
I like that
But
one.
anyway, as far as that's concerned, I'm
Ekis,
glad
Ekis.
there's a good resolution to that. It's
I guess. I mean,
it's good that people have
Need to find
justice.
the
At least
killers.
his family,
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah,
man.
he
Them
needs justice.
killers need to be
Yeah.
put behind bars.
Yeah.
It's kind of fucked up because there was a lot of people were like, he deserved it. It's like, homie
No,
was
he
like
didn't.
21,
No,
bro. He was like
no.
21,
Yeah,
bro.
exactly.
It's like,
I thought he was a little older than that.
still,
No,
though,
he
he was
was-
still,
you
he
could
was.
deserve from somebody as an ass whooping. You don't deserve to get killed.
It's fucked up because it's like, everybody's favorite superstars all did fucked up shit, and it's like they're all the GOAT now because they got their shit together. But it's like,
I mean, I love Jimmy Kimmel, but look what that got me.
dude, I don't want to keep talking about it. But it's just crazy. The guy that used to have teenagers jumping on trampolines and drinking massive beers the whole time and having like really graphically terrible comments that they would make. Nobody brings it up. Like I want to put next to every one of his
It's network stuff.
every
man.
one of his
He's on the
preaching
network.
moments. I just want to back that preaching moment up with a clip from
The Man Show.
Yeah, The Man Show. You
that shit was
could.
wild.
All day.
and you can everything he talks about, right? If he goes through it and he talks, they use the standard leftist conversations about the wokeness pieces, right? The moment he has one comment about it, great. Just pull up something because I guarantee you, in a few seasons that they have of it, you're gonna find the exact thing that he's complaining about that he's
Right.
actually done.
I'm gonna have to
Which,
check
but
this
that's the
out.
same. Well, that's kind of the same argument though, where it's like, all right, if you can't like, you can't use a rapper's lyrics as a, as something to arrest them with, then it's like, then you can't use a bit on Jimmy Kimmel's show as something to accuse him of, like, see, he's really like
No,
this.
I'm not
It's
saying-
not
I'm not
necessarily the
saying
same
You've
thing.
seen the body
prison.
language
Oh,
just
no.
like all of us.
I think he's a fucking creep, but
Creep.
using the clip from the Man Show or whatever isn't.
There's a
well,
difference.
that's not
But
legally
yes,
binding.
There's a separation between the court of public opinion and
actually
actual
incriminating yourself.
Yes,
Yeah.
actual incrimination. So it's like people are gonna dig up and do all the autism research that they
I just
want.
want to. I just want to keep it real.
Hey,
I just want to keep
Whoa,
it real.
those are my boys. Okay,
Yeah,
those are my
yeah.
boys.
fam over
The
here.
tism.
Yeah, the Tism clan. Anyway,
Um,
but yeah, 4chan and people are gonna do their research to the extent of whatever they want to do.
I know,
And
but
again,
it's
I
just
have
when
no-
you
I
see
have
that
no
look on
issue-
somebody's face when they get put on the spot like that, and we've
Right.
seen it with Jimmy.
oh yeah.
He was just like,
It's kind of like why
Is it a little hot in here, or is it just
It's
me?
why even though I don't
Exactly.
agree with a lot like everything Jon Stewart does, I still really respect the guy because he speaks his truth. He doesn't sugarcoat the stuff that he's accountable for, right? He'll even talk about like movies he did where he was giving an image that he's grown away from, right? Like Jelly Roll talked about it. One guy, we talked about it before, where everybody doesn't like that he's kind of going a different direction. It's not the old Jelly Roll, and they got like people should be allowed to evolve. To your point, right?
Yeah.
And they shouldn't
Yeah.
always have to have. So I agree that people, we shouldn't go back 10 years into somebody's Facebook page and incriminate them like we did
yeah, that's hardcore.
with Kevin Hart and stuff like that,
Right.
Yeah, that's
You know.
insane.
Yeah, the whole thing with Kevin Hart was crazy too. Back
I mean,
in
you
the
just
day.
you can't create new
Kevin
new
Hart,
age
right.
wokeness and apply it to something 30 years ago. It's like just
Yeah,
like Martha
you
Stewart will
can't
never get out of it.
retcon fucking history. I'm sorry. Like,
No.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's like they did with Morgan Wallen. His whole neighbor just catches him and his buddies out in the garage,
Oh, yeah,
drunk, and he just like, he said what he said and all that.
Yeah, that
But,
was gnarly.
it wasn't though to me.
It's pretty it's nothing
common.
unusual
Yeah,
that
exactly.
you yeah.
and the way they tried to crucify him, basically, but
Not that dude. It's
Yeah,
like
nah,
Dave
it ain't
Chappelle.
happening.
You get a certain level of success, you're not canceling that person. There's so many
Yeah.
people behind them. Like Trump, you hate him or love him. That dude's following is going nowhere.
Yeah.
You can come out with evidence right now to talk about something that's real, like the Stormy Davis thing. If it ends up being real, he will have at least the massive core of his group be like, "That's all not real.
he got Olivia Pope
They're just trying to get him down."
from Scandal. If you ain't watched
Oh, yeah,
Scandal,
yeah.
But, like,
he got him Olivia
All
Pope.
I'm saying is, I don't think Trump goes to jail for this. I don't think goes Trump for any of that stuff.
No, I don't think he goes to I don't think he does time for any of this stuff. It's just a thing to like
another
prevent him
witch
from
hunt.
running. Yeah.
It's another witch
They
hunt.
need to be careful because I think DeSantis could wipe the floor with Biden. I honestly think.
Oh,
he's got massive
because there's not
potential.
another serious Republican candidate if
Dude,
you think about it. When those
I
two are
think
in the
Joel
ring, it's not.
Austin can wipe the floor with Biden at this point, bro. At this point, I would vote for Joel over Biden for sure.
People are
Oh
or
my
100%.
I saw that
As much
Howard
as it
Stern.
hurts.
Howard Stern was like, "Jon Stewart, you should run for president
Please,
or
I
whatever."
will
would do
vote
it.
for John.
Can I finally have somebody that's purple like John? And I know he's kind of probably more blue than purple, right?
Yeah, he's
But
all over the place,
but
man.
I-
Every once in a while, he says something really dope, and then he says something so stupid, and it's like, I'm like, I don't know.
But I think that's the evidence of a good compromise, right? Is when both sides are not completely bought in, but they're okay because there's enough, actually crossing over, right?
Enough evidence
We're
to show
never.
everybody's
Think about it
right.
this way: if Biden wins or DeSantis wins, half the country's pissed off, right? But if a guy like Jon Stewart wins, there's people on the right, at least closer to the middle, and people on the left closer to the middle who are satisfied, and that's the bulk of America, and people don't talk about that.
well, Jon Stewart probably doesn't want to do it, which is probably what would make him
Like,
like
finally-
someone like
if he
him.
did, he
or
could probably
good.
finally get the 9/11 thing he's been trying to get passed for
Right.
20 something years.
I know, right?
Like how we're still not paying for our 9/11 victims right now is insane to me.
for real.
Like how much money could possibly go into a few thousand families? Like look how much money we just spent to develop a pandemic, and we made
Sent to
40
other
something
countries.
new billionaires out of, but somehow we can't pay for heroes of our own country. It's insane to me. Yeah.
And
it's a
goddamn Flint
travesty.
still doesn't have clean water. Fuck.
Is that
Yeah.
still to this day, man? That's
Fuck.
fucking
Oh, yeah.
Bro, Flint has been ignored forever.
crazy. And same thing's gonna happen with East
It's
Palestine
because
too.
there's not enough behind it to keep it on the forefront of people's faces and minds.
They don't care.
The rich
we'd
people
much rather
don't
talk
think it's
about-
worthy. The rich people don't think it's
Dude,
worthy.
because it's just like a bunch of like blue collar, rural, whatever, like mostly white people. It's just like no one really gives a shit. Well,
Right.
Flint not as much, but like with the East Palestine
Yeah.
thing, yeah, it's
But
just
East
like
Palestine is almost
it's-
worse,
bro, because it's like I mean, all the people in East Palestine's like
Yeah.
a lot of them are Trump voters too. So
with
it's like
that,
they're
that's
gonna
like-
kind of brush them off, you know.
the proportions of that are being massively understated because it's an ecological disaster. Like the
dude.
scale of the BP oil spill, it's
Yeah.
insane. Like there's hydrochloric acid raining from the fucking sky and like mutilating people and melting objects and
It's fucked,
insane,
man.
like-
Because like everybody, you know, as
Sad.
shit's starting to get more and more insane, people are like, "Oh, what you got to do, man? You got to go off grid. You got to buy chickens. You got to raise animals. You got to do
I
this.
love
You got to
those
grow
people.
And it's like
you know what
that's
I
great.
say?
That's great in theory,
Have
but
fun. Go do it,
yeah,
man. Live your
that's
dream,
great.
buddy. Go do it.
That's great until all your chickens fucking die from hydrochloric, whatever the fuck, being sprayed
No, I
all
want a
over the
backup
ground.
plan. I want a
Yeah.
backup plan, right? You look at like
That's
Walking
part of
Dead.
business. Sometimes you got to start over.
Look at like Walking Dead or these movies or the shows where like the world's ending, right? Some post-apocalypse. Who are the people you want to find after the first initial thing? The guy with the bunker who's already stockpiled all that stuff, who hopefully has caught some kind of thing that you can walk in and be like, "Great, I'm glad you packed all this for us. That's amazing." Right?
well, hopefully he's got the whole again another John Goodman reference, but he's got the like you know he's got the
Cloverfield
locked up
Lane.
the Cloverfield Lane 10 Cloverfield
Yeah.
Lane. I don't know if
dude.
you've seen that movie.
Yeah.
Great movie. But yeah, just lock it. Lock that shit. Keep them out. Keep the aliens. Keep all the
Right.
the vagrants and the.
Yeah, I'm just keep
what you
doing
gotta
it.
do.
I want our doomsday preppers just to keep prepping.
Yeah.
Keep prepping, because you know what? The thing is somebody's gonna be right, right?
Yeah.
Man.
The off chance that you're right is not very good for you. But I'm glad you're out there because we're gonna need help. If you're right, we're gonna need a lot of help.
Let me know what not to do.
I want to
be a
get one of those
toilet paper guy,
like
richest man in the
abandoned missile silos and turn that into like a prepper bunker. I feel like that would be sick.
That'd be sweet.
Once I make
Yeah, but I don't want to
few
abandon
million.
the missile. I just want that in another.
You still want to keep the missile though.
Yeah, hang on to the missile. You're
Right.
just like just in
Stupid
case.
joke. It was a
Just in
joke.
case.
Got one missile to go.
In Minecraft.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
In Roblox.
Let's check this.
Widowee,
Yeah,
a video game.
Yeah, speaking of prepping, we got Rick Ross right here.
Oh yeah.
Rick Ross responds, or give it a carrot. Rick Ross responds to neighbor who complained over his herd of buffalo roaming off Georgia estate
love
onto
it.
her property.
I love it.
Rick Ross has issued a
Our
public
backyard.
statement,
That's good.
or a public response after a neighbor complained of his two buffalo roaming off his Georgia estate and onto her property. The woman informed TMZ that in the space of the past week, both animals managed to make their way onto her land. She noted that she was concerned about her young children's safety in the light of massive beasts escaping from Rick's 235-acre spread.
Jeez,
And so, in a Facebook statement this Monday, the local sheriff's office admonished livestock owners that they are responsible for restraining the animals and could face charges if they neglect to do so. However, Rick, 47, breezily advised the public, "So when you see my buffalo, give it a carrot, give it an apple. They so kind, they so peaceful."
I
dude doing a
100%
cattle
agree.
drive.
When you're as rich as Rick Ross, you don't care. You just
It ain't just
Fine.
that, man.
I'll
It's
pay a
like-
fine.
so sick.
How much grass they eat? Great. How much is that worth?
In
Great.
his
Here you
mind,
go.
he's rejuvenating the world by having these livestock to live their lives
It's true.
on his property.
Bring the
Look,
buffalo
all
back.
I'm saying is that when Michael Jackson, had his Wonderland area, whatever they called it, right? He
Neverland.
had giraffes, Neverland, right? He had giraffes,
Neverland.
he had chimpanzees, he had all kinds of animals, but he kept those efforts contained, right? He did it the right way.
Oh, he
Yeah.
did.
He,
yeah,
he made
did.
him like so if you're gonna have because here's my thing, I don't really care so much that he's doing it. Whatever, it's your money. You go great.
How could you be
I
mad
love
at
bison
somebody having
burgers,
some
by the way.
buffalo?
Bison burgers and buffalo burgers.
He's also got
So
a
good.
giraffe, bro.
That's what I'm saying. If you're gonna go create like your own zoo for your more power to you. Just those animals deserve to be taken care of differently. I think we think it's funny because it's just roaming on somebody else's land. But if you're when you're a cattle owner, you have to be careful about the types of things they eat. there are different like clover types in the grass that could literally just
true.
kill that buffalo, right? So if you give them a carrot, fine, whatever, laugh it off. But dude, you're this is your obligation. You now have 2 buffaloes.
you got to take care of your livestock.
And a buffalo will fuck you up too. Like if
Oh,
it
yeah.
feels threatened,
It's a valid concern. On
like
the
they're,
parents'
they're
part.
mostly
do.
they're mostly chill, but like not if you're not chill with them, or not if like
Yeah, if you
there's-
scare them, spook them.
There's so many
know what I mean?
videos
Like-
from around where is it, like Yellowstone or whatever, of people just getting fucking like Skyrim like booted by bison just getting knocked 50 feet in the fucking air
Have you
by
ever
bison.
seen
They're
somebody
no
just
joke.
get
They're
kicked by a
massive.
horse?
Yeah,
Oh, they're
Christopher
huge.
Reeves
Imagine
did,
getting rammed by a damn bison.
I
Yeah.
thought Christopher. I thought he fell off a horse.
or something. I think
Yeah, he did.
he like
He
fell off a horse
right?
or
yeah, it was,
something
it was,
involving a
who else
horse.
did that? Patrick Swayze.
Gary Busey.
In fact, Ione, California, they filmed a movie called Letters from a Killer with Patrick Swayze, and it was one of the best things that ever happened to our little tiny town in about 45 minutes from here, right? Well, the guy decided to go horseback riding, fell off, and broke like 2 of his legs, and they had to like postpone the entire movie for like 8 months.
That's like all of his legs, dude. Fuck.
But you can watch that movie today. You can watch that movie today and watch them
Definitely.
pull into our little tiny town. It's still pretty cool whenever I see it.
Oh, you know Patrick Swayze, he was like 5'0" nothing. Like, dude is a short. You on TV, you think he's like a big Roadhouse. I thought he was a huge dude, just tearing people up. Meet him in real life, he's smaller than my mama.
They did the same shit with like Tom Cruise.
Oh yeah.
Where it's like they'll just make them. They're so short, but they just use like the fancy
Danny
camera.
DeVito.
Another dude that doesn't age.
You can't.
Vampires.
Yeah, you can't.
Him,
You can't
Keanu
correct
Reeves.
Danny DeVito though. Danny DeVito is fucking short, no matter how you film him, bro. Like it's
The
not gonna
whole
happen.
movie's filmed from the floor.
Okay, so we got Rick Ross. Let's watch his statement here. Oh,
Morning,
fucking hell!
how
Sorry.
y'all feeling this morning? It's a beautiful morning, ain't it?
It's a beautiful morning, ain't it?
The paths
Those
we take in
massive
life.
horses and buffaloes next to each other, like it's not. That's real.
Gotta
That's no
love
problem.
that, man.
Our animals are all gonna love each other. None of them will ever have a problem. They're our animals.
Rodeo Rick in the building. Morning glory, morning glory.
I
That
fuck
buffalo,
with
like,
it.
dude, I'm gonna hit you so hard with my horns. And this
Horned
guy's like,
up,
do
dude.
they really
That's a
have to be
pretty
in the
horse,
pen with
man.
us? Come on.
I love horses. I love livestock. You know?
Yeah, I'm like, this is wholesome.
When
Like
y'all
you,
come across Timbuktu,
you go into a long time
y'all
rap
family.
career and you got a choice. You can become a Twitch streamer like T-Pain, or you can go out and you can get 200+ acres and raise some fucking buffalo like Rick Ross.
Bro,
And I think, well, yeah.
I'm jealous, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
I'm
jealous.
I would
I
love
think
to
it's a
wake up
beautiful
every
thing.
morning and pet them buffalo.
Yeah.
That's,
Like I said, more
that's
power to them. Just
so
take care of
cool.
your animals.
Yeah.
Right? No
Yeah,
plastic
yeah,
fence isn't going to
definitely.
do
I
it.
know you can't
Yeah,
afford
that's
like
true,
a
that's true.
taller fence. Yeah.
Well, yeah. What if they get
You
out?
saw
and
the
get
fence in
hit
the
by a
background. It's like
diesel
your
or
common
something, you
neighbor.
know, like-
It's like, dude, did you move them into a
Say I'm coming
neighborhood?
to show you
Right.
love.
No, I'm saying if they get out on
know,
the
wait.
road, because that happened. We from Georgia, North Carolina. We know you
Happiness,
run
man.
across
Cleanse yourself from
livestock a
hard
lot.
work. Cleanse yourself in love. You got to rinse yourself for that hate. You can't let that negative energy be around you. You feel me? It ain't about what
yeah.
nobody got, what they don't got.
He's
It's
like,
what
you
they-
can't let those property boundaries define you, you
Yeah.
know?
I know. It's like the buffalo like runs over a
Yeah.
toddler or whatever, and he's like, "Man, you just can't let that negativity like control your life, bro. Like, come on."
Exactly. Nah, you got to keep your livestock in their own spot. And
He doesn't
calmer
realize
than you are.
that after a certain period of time, if it keeps going on their property, that property owner is within their right to get rid of that buffalo.
oh yeah, they can
100%.
Yep. All of a sudden, bison burgers for the next year, That's, or buffalo burgers.
That sounds fire, actually.
sound
I'm
like
not gonna-
Bison
oh,
burger.
they're delicious.
if they're actual buffaloes, you can't kill them.
they don't even have a toddler. They just want the burgers.
Wait,
Right.
aren't buffaloes like
Endangered.
They're
protected?
bison.
Like, how do you even
they're
buy a
bison.
buffalo?
Huh.
They're
Are they bison? Okay, yeah, that's
It's the same.
Bison.
It's the same thing, right?
no.
Bison and buffalo are the same thing. I think one just parts the shit on the side and one down the middle.
I believe there are 2 different types of livestock, just like cows and.
Man, they
are
all
not.
cows.
No,
They
bisons
all-
are a
they're
little
all
different.
I can neither
steers.
confirm nor
Yeah,
deny them.
they're all part of that same family. But they're
Yeah.
not.
Bisons are the ones
I
that
can't
have.
confirm either.
They have like the beards and like the bigger heads. Like
I know
a
I'll eat a
buffalo.
bison,
Picture,
but
let's
I'm
see it,
not
let's see it.
gonna
There we
eat
go.
Yeah.
Dude, I've never had bison, but
Yeah,
I'm
so there's like a
legitimately
There you
interested.
bison
go.
versus
Oh,
buffalo.
Go to
There
Ted.
you
Go to
go.
Ted
Yeah.
Nugent's Burger House, or what is it? Ted Nugent's Steakhouse. You can
Okay.
get bison, bear, You get all kinds of
Sounds
different
fucking
stuff.
good.
Yeah,
Dude, there's
for
that
sure,
one
for
spot. There's a spot around here that has a bunch of stuff like that. They got, like,
Ted's Montana Grill.
Yes,
That has
Montana Grill.
They got like the
That's
taboo
it.
menu.
It's
Like
the
the
house
outfit
no,
stuff.
Flaming
they're
Grill,
actually
too.
Oh, yeah,
just like
Flaming
Yeah,
Grill, yeah.
Flaming Grill. That's
That's the
the
one.
I threw up
They're
off
just
of
a big-
edibles in the front of Flaming Grill. Do you remember that? Yeah, I took too many edibles, and it was like my friend's birthday, and we're like, "Yeah, man!" And I fucking ate my food, and then just immediately was like,
Dude, I
fucking
remember that too.
blue chunks in the front of the fucking
we all
restaurant.
ate like
Good
those
times.
big ass cookie edibles, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
The old school
I bet
ones.
they were homemade too, like the homie made them and shit. Huh?
Nah, it was back when you could have
The
like
stuff you can
500
only do in
milligram edibles
California,
and shit. So we
before
like
the regulations.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
all ate like a 500 milligram edible, and we're just at fucking the middle of fucking Flaming Grill.
That shit was so good though.
Yeah, I ate 125. That was the best feeling I ever had.
Dude.
Yeah, no, we've been stupid out here with the like dosage for a long time, and it's only become reasonable recently.
To me with edibles, I'm like, bro, like 20 or 30 milligrams. I'm like, I'm chilling, doggy. I'm fucking
Bro, I
can't
used to
do
go
it.
for
I
the
ate 20 or
500s. I'm not
30s.
gonna lie.
too much.
I need like at least 200.
Bro.
Yeah, like you
That's
got
a
you gotta have
long
something.
time of
Stupid
resistance
milligrams.
building right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
I have like no tolerance for edibles versus flour.
Okay, well, we are pretty much at about an hour and a half here.
Yeah, that's about it.
You know, I think we did have one story left.
There was one. There's like there's all the Chat GPT stuff, but that's like a whole big
we
that's a whole big thing.
We kind of
We
touched
kinda
on that
talked
a bit
about it
on,
a little
on that
bit.
with the Trump stuff, but I don't know. Do you guys want to get into that? Do you have any particular interest in the Chat GPTs?
I know. What do you guys?
I know nothing about it.
I
No?
know nothing.
You've never heard of Chat GPT before?
We're
No.
gonna chat
Okay.
GPT.
Yeah, it's
so
one of those,
hard.
you know, sort of AIs that you're talking about where
Oh.
you can just sort of input a text field. But they've recently released a new iteration, ChatGPT 4, which has the advantage of being multimodal. So you can feed it input of audio, video, and text now to generate a new result. So
Yeah.
people are doing crazy things where they'll take like a piece of paper and they'll do a quick like block out of a
Yeah, so
website.
it's just another open AI that's
Mhm.
okay.
It's
and
just-
it'll take
yeah.
their block out and it'll be like, bam, there's a
They
fully
setting us
functioning
up, man.
HTML, CSS, and
This is all part of the
JavaScript based
plan.
website
Nice.
just based on the piece of paper that you scribbled out. So like the power is getting
I'm scared of
a little-
AI.
little
It's
man.
crazy,
unsettling.
man, because there's Chat GPT, which is made by OpenAI, which like the fact that it's called OpenAI is very much a misnomer too, because
Yeah,
it is
right.
not open and
No,
it's not
source.
open source at all.
No.
And they started out as a non-profit thing, but then as soon as shit started blowing up with Chat GPT, they're like, actually, no, we want to make some money off of this shit. So it's not and then there's that.
We'll
And
call that
Chat-
the
but
beta.
Chat
You guys were
GPT
beta and alpha. right?
Like if you ask, because you can just ask Chat GPT anything, but if you ask it something too spicy or whatever, it'll just be like, I'm not gonna tell you that. If you ask it like how to like make a bomb in Minecraft or whatever, you know, but not in Minecraft,
but
Then
but
it won't
actually
tell
in
you.
Minecraft.
it won't tell you.
Supposedly now with this newer model, you have a higher range of verbosity that you can assign to it. So essentially that just means it's more likely to respond with things that are not appropriate to its filters. Like you're able to prompt it with more like sensitive material
Yeah.
and actually get a response from it.
But it's so advanced that to the point where like it can identify whether a meme, like it can look at a fucking meme and be like, tell me why this meme is funny, and it will like break it down for you too. It's like, oh my god, dude, if the AI start to understand comedy and like
much,
sarcasm and
man.
shit,
Oh, we're
it's
done.
fucking too much.
I'm not trying to.
We gotta run
laugh.
for our money, man.
I need Eddie Murphy. I don't need a computer.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
fucked
they're already,
up.
But then
you
I
can
guess,
get it
like-
to write you jokes right now. You can go on there and tell me, write me a joke about these inputs, and it'll go
And
write
that
you.
sucks
It
because
will go
this is
write you a
what
joke.
people who want to be comedians will do.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're not funny.
But
jokes.
but that's the thing. It's like
Yeah,
it's
they're
not
not.
funny. At least not yet.
they're
It might
okay.
be on the chopping block, but like as far as now, it's really not. It just sounds like an amalgamation of
25
all
years
of
from
the.
now,
It's-
different conversation.
Yeah, it's too vanilla right now is the thing because of the sort of community guidelines they have around it and the amount of input and the types of input they allow into it. And due to the constraints of that, the responses it gives are not like crazy. So I think the true like art of comedy is in finding something that is like, not obvious necessarily,
Yeah,
or is like
pure.
so obvious that it's funny that you pointed it out when nobody else thought of it. And the AI doesn't have enough like
Intuition.
intuition, enough like complicated material, and enough spicy material, I think, to make something that is like
and with
actually
comedy-
insightful.
Well, just think about what they've done, though. I mean, so there are open AIs though that are actual. You have access to source code, right? But
Yeah.
but in these different scenarios, think about what they've actually achieved, right? I mean, this ability for a computer system to now be responsive to you and to provide you actual product of that response is incredible. And I think when you decide, companies like mine are using these things to actually do things like predictive analytics and and auto remediation and things like that. You know, that really speed up the productivity of a massive IT environments, right?
That's something that I think is massively understated in the tech world right now because it's just like such a new thing. But I think
data is your next is our next every couple of few years we make these massive advancements in what IT is doing or what we're capable of doing from a technology perspective. The world of the next 10 years, if not next 20 years, is going to be about how well you utilize the data that you're generating.
Right? Yeah, 100%.
It's not for IT, especially. It's not going to be. No, they're gonna find ways so that you don't have to like be on the phone with somebody. Be like, okay, did you try turning it off and turning it back?
Yeah, it already exists.
Yeah, where it's like
we don't even bother with those things anymore. We now use systems that will go in and do those remedial steps automatically, and then we'll give the person who's going to answer those questions. Here's all the things we tried systematically before the issue ever came to you. That's how it is right now.
Gotcha.
That's cool.
We're already doing it right now.
Taking the initiative.
Well, because like some of it's like, oh no, the AI is gonna like take everybody's job, but in some ways it's like, man, this is like, dude, reducing the amount of workload on like average people that have to do a bunch of bullshit. Because that's like the worst part about like those types of jobs. It's like kind of nice. It's easing up all the fucking work for a lot of people. So it's like
Catch-22.
Yeah,
but I think if you look, so I'm in the industry, so I actually see these studies a lot, right? And it's less about you have a massive talent gap that's just continuing to grow, right? People aren't leaving college wanting to manage architecture. They're wanting to develop apps for the cloud or use other, right? So there's that piece, but there's also a large amount of people who are utilizing the technology that need to be used for the other parts of the actual achieving business objectives, right? And so when you get into having conversations about, do you want your company to be an IT company or do you want to be a bank, right? And so the bank can't get away with not being a partial IT company because they have so much of it. But at the end of the day, the goal would be to move as much of that responsibility for the end outcome away from them as possible, right?
Man.
And so that ends up being so if you are, let's say you are, name a children's hospital out there, right? You are doing AI analytics and machine learning, right? Because you're trying to find creative ways that you can't do with conventional methods to analyze the data that you're generating so that you can produce more efficient homeopathics, more efficient therapies, more efficient uses of, think of it this way. If you don't know how your doctors are truly utilized, right? Then you may spend a lot of time investing in their future development in a direction that is actually not going to be beneficial for future patients, right? And so that's what they're trying to do, is eliminate the ambiguity into what they need to invest in, ambiguity into what's actually important for them to put their attention into, which is huge. Right?
That's brilliant. And I think in that sense, being somebody who knows how to operate and to use these things in an optimal way in a bunch of different like businesses, a bunch of different fields, that's going to become an incredibly valuable position moving forward.
It is already. That's exactly what my job is.
Right.
I mean, it's to convince customers to come in and say, the company I work for is been doing this for a very long time, right? And we've gotten really good at helping provide those end outcomes. So you can. Some customers will prefer to be in the business of IT forever. Some want to move to a more cloud-like experience where they can land workloads into a namespace and not worry so much about what it took to actually build that. Instead, it's just achieving their business outcome, which is, to me, I think that's going to be more of the future for sure. It's definitely becoming the driving force for almost all growth in this what we call repatriation, which I don't know if you guys know what that is, but essentially 10 years ago, everybody decided they were going to go to the cloud. I'm going to have a cloud first strategy. That's going to be my goal for IT. And they got there and they realized the cloud's really expensive. It's great for capacity. And there's some amazing workloads to cloud. There's a reason why it's a cloud smart strategy because it should exist, right?
Right.
But what they really found is a couple of things. One, about 70% of applications that are in the enterprise can't move to the cloud for various reasons, like monolithic data fabrics and other kind of things, right? There's also aspects of it where they get charged a lot for sometimes very small necessities. If you're born in the cloud and you're giving a SaaS solution, it makes a ton of sense for you to be there because that's what you've always done.
Right.
But a lot of customers are finding it's so expensive they can get that same thing done somewhere else, like an on-prem or even a hybrid cloud strategy. And so for that reason, 2022 has been deemed the year of repatriation, where this massive pendulum swing 10 years ago was towards the cloud. You're actually seeing more customers come out of the cloud to achieve the things that they need because more companies like mine can actually provide that cloud-like experience without you also having to sacrifice some of those things.
Because I imagine that shit does
That's
just
very-
get super expensive. You mean like
yeah.
where
It's
instead of
99
putting
cents a
everything
month for me just to
Right.
keep my pictures.
right? Yeah, exactly. I guess so they're moving back to like localized where it's like, all right, you have like all
These
this
are my
shit
pictures,
on actual
man.
local servers or whatever.
It's a whole
How they
different.
gonna charge me for my pictures?
That is a
Yeah, it's true. Well, I mean, it's just
think about
instead of
it.
charging you for a fucking hard drive or a flash drive, they're just charging you. Then it is the
Charge you for the
membership,
space to store it.
and it's like a membership based thing, and it's like I like the cloud and I like AI and I like all this stuff, but it's like it is one of those things where it's like the Netflixification
Of course, they set
where
it
it's
up.
like, no, you're
They
not going to own the DVD. You're going to fucking pay for this service in perpetuity for the rest of your life. Oh, no, you're not going to have all this hard drive space and you're not going to have all this storage
You
yourself.
can't
You're just
get
going
the
to.
discs to Pro Tools anymore.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
to subscribe.
You have
Oh,
to, you have
yeah,
to get the iLock
100%
or the
subscription-based
I hate that
services
shit.
and as a service,
Everything.
that is the future.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
That's
in fact,
Hate it.
You will
Hate
own
it.
nothing and you will be happy.
That's one of the reasons I
Zudecast.
do not fuck
That's
with
today.
Adobe these days because
Yeah.
you have to pay a subscription and their prices keep going up just to
dude.
access Photoshop. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
a
yeah.
Photoshop
I hate
subscription is now like $32.
I gotta subscribe to
if you're
everything.
a new customer.
Auto tune,
And so
any
I'm like,
effect that is
Yeah.
really top notch that everybody uses, you're gonna have to subscribe to it. Now, auto tuner, you have to get it subscribed to. Waves bundles, you have to subscribe
Yeah.
to. Pro Tools have to.
Yeah,
as
it's
far
about
as
competing
audio
correctly.
engineering, and it's
Yeah.
the same as video. Adobe, you gotta subscribe.
I think in creative fields like ours,
Sucks,
it's
man.
really fucking annoying to
Because they
have to
know
deal
we
with cloud-based
fiend for
services.
it, and we have to have it. They know they're gonna get money off us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but in terms of like scaling up a large business or something like
Yeah.
So
it's
yeah,
a
that
different
large
story.
business scale is hard, right? So, but again, there are plenty of businesses out there that function very well in the cloud. It's not like it's a problem, right? The issue is about doing it correctly and smart. This initial push was like, oh, there's so much capacity out there, and oh, these data centers can be close to my current workloads, and so latency might be down. There are a lot of good reasons, like let's say disaster recovery, right? I don't know if you guys know what that is, but when a business goes down, they have something called a business continuity plan, and that business continuity plan includes what do you do in case of a disaster?
like a massive
Right.
data breach
So
or
this,
something.
Well, no,
or
let's say
like a
this
failure?
entire data center goes. Let's just say it loses power.
Okay.
Right. That data center will have high availability functions, which means they'll have probably additional power connectivity, whatever.
Generators.
But let's say there is some kind of security bombardment, right? And you need to lock that down, and you've been replicating over to the cloud consistency data so that you can spin up in the cloud an instance. That's called, so a disaster makes sense.
Right.
It would operate as this is a hot environment and this is an extremely cold environment, being the cloud, and that gives you the ability to function during a period of time. It can be very expensive, but it's only for that period of time.
It's just meant to be like a stopgap sort of measure, right?
Yeah, it's in case something happens, here's your way of continuing to operate your business with unlimited capacity. You just,
If your Google Drive goes down, it's like, fuck, dude, my meme folder was all on there. I don't know.
I know, right?
Oh, no. Yeah.
I'm
And for
lost
that
without
reason-
my memes.
yeah, but the same reason in that
Gotta
same
have the meme
scenario,
folder.
I'm
your
sure on
Google
Epstein
Drive is
Island they didn't
replicated
want
to
to move
multiple
to the cloud.
So your Google Drive with all your memes is actually replicated to multiple landing spaces.
Right.
So if that entire data center for GPC goes down, Google Private Cloud goes down, then they're still going to be able to spin it up in another environment for you to eventually get access back to it, even if that thing that originally caused the problem it still exists.
It's
Just
same
the
thing with the
redundancy
bank closed
aspect.
down
That's what
and the
it is.
government finally
Right.
got it hooked up for them to get access to this stuff.
It is cloud money too,
cloud
basically.
money.
You
I mean,
know?
look at what happened to the pipeline in the east, right? Colonial Pipeline went down. It was
The
back,
oil pipeline, or
yeah, the oil pipeline went down. I remember it was the target of a terrorist attack. You guys remember that? It was maybe a couple years ago.
It was a hack, right?
Colonial Pipeline was a hack, right? So there's a company out there that was responsible. Everybody talks about it. That they were down. They were only actually down for like 8 seconds, right?
Damn.
They took a lot of time to recover because, of course, they had to then rebuild and all of these different systems. But that attack and that breach happened for 8 seconds. There's a company out there called Rubrix. Rubrix is probably one of the leaders in the game when it comes to things like ransomware and stuff like that, right? And these guys were the reason why they came.
Ransomware. Never heard of it.
So ransomware is like a hacker will breach. They usually target enterprise solutions, right? They'll breach that enterprise solution. And then they'll most of the time are gonna piggyback some other type of system, right? JP Morgan Chase, I think, was a guy actually related to one of the people who were the cleaners of the business, actually were able to reprogram her security card in that company when they went to go scan. Ended up getting them access to that business, right?
Oh, shit.
So what ends up happening when they do it, what they do is they go in and they get access to that particular virtual machine or set of data, and then they lock it down to where it's majorly encrypted and the business can't have access to their own data. So they hold the data of that business ransom, and all of a sudden they'll say, okay, we'll give you back your data, but you're going to give us 10 million or something.
Damn.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a massively growing business right now. And if
That's
you're
crazy too, because depending on whether or not, or like how quickly you're gonna be losing money in the time period that you're down, you might just be like, all right, the 10 million is a necessary like measure.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
But some of them pay it immediately because they know.
Crazy.
And sometimes their data gets released and sometimes it doesn't. It's almost like if your kid's getting ransomed or something, right?
Yeah.
There's a good possibility those people are just going to target you again, right?
It just fuck with you.
Keep doing
What?
Oh,
Hey,
little
Talking too much.
Yeah. God is telling us to shut the fuck up.
Well, that's probably a good note. Yeah, we're hitting about an hour 45.
It's too dangerous, bro. It's too dangerous.
Come back.
Sweet. All
God
right.
affecting our power systems here.
I think this has been a
been
swell
great,
cast.
man.
Thanks,
Yeah,
thanks you
for
boys
having
for
us.
coming on.
Appreciate you having the Ware brothers on here one more time.
Appreciate you guys.
You always
for
have
joining us.
one Ware brother, but the other two are just ridiculous.
Right.
Once a
Hey,
year is
next time
probably
we're
enough.
bringing 2 more.
Oh, shit.
Can you imagine 5 Ware brothers?
Dude, I
Dude.
couldn't
We don't got the
imagine
mics for that.
I could imagine us having any conversations that we had today with all 5 of our brothers.
I
Oh my
could,
gosh.
man. They all got opinions, man, and we are all opinions.
We'll call it.
It's fun,
We'll
man.
call it Battle Royale episode
fun.
150 or
the
something.
Rumble Warrel.
Jesus, that's gonna be a rough one.
Hey, peace, America.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Cheers.
Thank y'all so much for joining us
Cheers.
tonight.
Oh.
Shout out for joining us on this bonus episode of
Bonus.
ZUDECAST. 2 in 1 week. We're nice. We're kind to you out here. Serving up that content. Thanks for joining us, y'all. Have a good one.
Cheers.
We out.
Love you.